If you're looking for a way to power up your nutrients with a plant-based protein powder, then raw vegan plant-based protein is the perfect choice. This vegan protein is packed with essential nutrients to help you stay energized and healthy. With plant-based protein powder becoming increasingly popular amongst health-conscious individuals, it's no surprise that raw vegan plant-based proteins has become a leader in the industry. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to increase your daily protein intake, this vegan protein powder can help you reach your goals. Visit rawvegan.com. Again, rawvegan.com. Welcome to the Second Win Sports Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a very special guest in the building. We have no other than Jordan, Short Dog White. How's it going, champ?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And yourself, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I've been trying to get you on this joint, man, for about 2 years, man. But
man, here I am, man. Here I am.
Yes, indeed. Like they say, man, the best for last, brother.
The best is yet to come.
Yes, indeed, man. I want to share this clip right here, man, and tell me about this, man, after it go off. Brother, I saw that live. Oh, you didn't see it? It probably won't show up on your end. Are you there?
Yeah, man.
Okay, yeah, I know you up in the woods, man, out there getting your nature on, man, fishing and stuff. But that was the shot when you caught the guy with that hook. Man, explain that, man, when you laid that shot on them peoples, man.
Man, we was working hard at, at perfecting it in the gym. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, we was working hard, man, at perfecting it in the gym. We went through some key shots that were gonna be for that fight, and it came to me as I seen it. I reacted, I seen it, and I'm saying I let the hook go. Check hook.
And you did it and not only was it a perfect shot, you did it on national TV on Showtime. And when the world got to see your talent, man, on another level, and I was impressed by you, man, with that shot. I saw on the video your father and yourself working on that shot.
Yeah, we definitely was working on it for sure.
Yeah, man. I saw you fight about a good 4 times on a lot of the live cards. And the crowd, man, that you bring with you, brother, it be electrifying. I heard those people calling your name, like doing this little sound like Short Dog, and it's like a little sound go with the joint, right? I say, well, damn, this brother got a real following, man. How did that go about you having a following like you do, man? Because usually in this area, we don't get it like that, man. What makes you special to bring such a crowd like that with you, man?
Man, first I'm gonna say that I'm anointed. God gave me a gift that all I can do is show what He gave me. I got a lot of family that come to the fights, and they definitely support me a lot, and a lot of family and friends, people that love me to death. So that's the main thing. I love fighting at home. It gives me that excitement that you saying, that electrifying in the room. This fight for sure is gonna be a little bit more electrifying. I got somebody walking me out. I got somebody walking me out that's very popular right now. I ain't gonna say it as of right now, but it's gonna be a surprise.
Yes, indeed, man. I look forward to this, man. I got to holler at my good guy, Clarence Vincent, who told me y'all was cousins, man. That's there's some special bloodline going on from both of y'all, man.
Yeah, that's my big cousin, man. I've been trying to get him in the gym to, give me a couple rounds, but he been ducking the smoke a little bit. No, I'm messing with you, man. I love him to death. I
Most
learned a lot
definitely.
from
Man.
him though.
Yes, indeed, man. That's a we came up together, man. He was one of the most electrifying fighters that come out of this area, man. Still to the day.
Yeah.
So, this fight coming up on the 18th of May. Do you know anything about this guy you fighting?
I know he has a outstanding resume. You know, he fought some great fighters. He fought Abner Mares. He fought Lamont Roach. He fought Jamel Hearn. So he definitely fought some champions. So it's definitely a step up fight. You know, fighting the gatekeeper, moving up in the rankings. You know, fighting somebody that has been in there with some greats is definitely something I'm looking forward to.
I looked at you. You rated in the top 10 now, ain't you?
Yes,
In one of the
sir. Yes,
sanctions, man.
sir.
That's a big deal, brother. That's a real big deal, champ.
I'm looking
How
for
you
the
feel
money
about
fight, man.
how you feel about that?
I feel good. I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking for them big money fights, man. You know,
It-
Osaki Foster. You know, I know, Chris Colbert don't want no smoke. You know, but it's cool. I would love to fight Chris Colbert too. You
Yes,
know, the
indeed.
top guys that they got them belts, man. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, you in that ranking, they can't duck you with so much. They gotta give it to you, man. Yes, indeed, man. I got a motto: DC or nothing over here, man. All the
Yeah,
way
nothing,
live.
man.
All the
For
way
sure.
live. So let's talk about your amateur career. Let's go back, man. You one of those ones that's been fighting at a very young age, man. Uh,
Mm.
Explain the importance of amateur boxing transitioning to the pros. Why is that so important?
Um, Amateur boxing, it gives you the experience. You know, some fighters, I feel like they turn pro too quick, trying to get the money in and miss the learning process of getting experience. You know, some fighters is 25 amateur fights and then they turn pro, and you know they run into complications and stuff down the line because they didn't start the process off right. You know, it's like the alphabet. You got to start from A to Z, and you can't jump from A to F or A to, you know what I'm saying. You can't do that. So you
Yes,
gotta you
indeed.
gotta you gotta actually treat the sport of boxing like it's supposed to be. You know, and if not, then it's gonna be consequences behind it.
Man, that was a perfect answer right there, brother. That was straight to the point. For real. I talked to your father about 2 days ago, man. I didn't know you fought guys like Ryan Garcia and them, and you beat them.
I fought Ryan Garcia. I fought Virgil Ortiz. I fought, man. I could keep. I fought Brandon Lee. I fought so many people in the amateurs, man, and you know it was. I've been in there with champions already. A lot of them.
Yes, indeed, man. And you beat a lot of them too, man, which make it that much more special, brother.
Mhm.
Man, so on the 18th of this month, and you coming down that ring, you in DC, you coming home.
I'm
I
staying
know
home.
that's right, brother. So when you come home this time, man, what's gonna be different about this one?
Like I said, man, the everybody I know everybody that come to watch me fight know the ring entrance is always, like you said, electrifying, man, and everybody look forward to that. So I feel like this is probably gonna be one of the bigger ring walks I come out to, and it's the city going they not gonna hear me on this one. They're gonna feel me. So it's gonna definitely be that's gonna be to look for. I'm getting better and better each camp. I'm training harder and harder. It's definitely look for a show. You know, Short Dog bring. Short Dog gonna bring the show.
Yes, indeed.
Um, my skills, my power, everything, man. I'm trying to display the best Short Dog I can display that night.
Man, I watched you, man, on a couple of your IG, man. You like dirt bikes too, man.
Yeah, man. I
Let's
don't
talk
like him. I
about
love
that.
him, man.
You
I
know, I
love him.
can see it, man. And what happened to that turtle, man? Which one of y'all hit that turtle, man?
Hey man, I don't know who hit the turtle, man.
Man,
I
they
don't
crushed the
know.
turtle,
I
man.
saved I saved the one the first day, and then the next day I was running. I seen another one get hit, man.
Man,
Look,
man.
so many people didn't hit me about that daggone turtle. If as many people was to hit me about that turtle as they was about these tickets, I'd be rich right
That's
now.
right. That's right, brother. That's right. I feel you, man. I saw that. I
Man,
said, damn, man, he got the turtle, man. It's all good, man. But your father told me, man, you like into like nature. Y'all have like a farm or something where you raising chickens or
Well,
something.
I ain't gonna say I got a farm. He got a farm. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
he got chickens.
Yeah,
I help
okay.
him if
Okay.
need be. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes,
do eat
indeed.
the eggs, so I can't act
Okay.
like I don't. You know what I'm saying? Participate in the activities,
Right, right,
but
right.
I help him. I help him as much as I can. He got garden. He got so
Okay.
many. We got fresh fruit, fresh lettuce and bok choy and all of the stuff that you can name. You know, he growing it like he definitely got a green thumb. So that, but that's his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You
I
talk
did.
about the four wheelers, that's me. You
That's
talk about
you.
the chickens and the farm, and that's him.
That's
You
him.
know
I
what I'm
dig
saying?
it. I dig it. I dig it. But he told me you like right now you out fishing. So
Yeah, man. Look, I had to take my poncho off. It was raining a little bit out here, man. Look, if y'all check my Instagram, y'all know I'm out here catching them slobs. You know what I'm talking about.
that's right, Joe. Hey, that's what. Hey, Slim. I love that, man. That's a beautiful thing to be
Man,
able to.
little R&R, man. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to go out to no club or be around a whole
Man,
bunch of people, man. I'm out here with people that love me and I love them. And we just out here having a good time, man.
man,
Out here
that's
listening to Glorilla, you know what I'm saying?
right. That's right.
Hit it, yeah, Glow, you know what I'm saying?
That's
I
right.
had to
That's
step
right.
away for a second. Somebody probably got my pole and a fish on it right now, but it's all
Oh no,
right, though.
yeah, yeah. They got to give you that, man. They got to give you that one, man. But it's
Y'all
cool,
think,
man.
yes,
So
sir.
what? So man, I saw some videos with you too, man, in the gym, man, getting your work on, man.
Mhm.
How is this camp going for you?
Man, this camp is going great, man. Better than any camp. Like I said, every camp I feel as though I'm getting better and better. So as far as the work, the miles I'm running, the food I'm eating, I'm learning how to be 100% complete athlete. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of athletes or a lot of boxers, whenever like I said athlete, I mean athlete, but a lot of boxers they take one aspect of the sport seriously and not the other. So, when I say 100% complete athlete, that's what I mean. I've been doing everything I need to do, whether it's taking my vitamins, taking my supplements and powders, whatever I need to take to uh, be at the optimum level so I can compete. Yeah, I've been doing. So I feel great, man. I feel like I'm reaching my peak in this career. So like I said, I'm ready for the top guys that with those belts, man. I'm ready for them.
Man, you've been on a lot of main events, man. Every time I came to it, you always been the main event, man. Um, how was that feeling? Because I know you had experience, probably remember the days before the main event. What's the different feeling between being like a first fighter or fourth fighter, fifth fighter head, and being a main event fighter? What's the difference to you?
Um, I feel like I mean, when I first started out, yeah, I knew I was where I should be, but honestly, in my heart, I always felt like I was a main event fighter. I had to wait my time to, claim it, but I felt like I always was a main event fighter. I felt like I'm a special fighter.
Yeah,
I do things that other fighters can't do. I possess skills and IQ that other fighters don't possess. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about even the fighters that's champions right now. So when I do get my chance to show, which I did multiple times, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep showing it
yes,
that
indeed.
I'm different. I'm not the same. I'm one of them.
Yeah, I see it, brother. And I know who the people that got that it factor. You one of
Yeah,
those guys that got it without even trying. A lot of brothers got to try to do it. You don't even try. It's effortless. So I know a electrifying star when I see one. You definitely possess those powers, brother.
man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed, brother. You one of them ones, man. You keep doing what you're doing, man. I truly appreciate you taking the time out, man, to step
Man.
away from what
Hey, look, man.
business,
I'm a
brother.
man. Look. A man ain't nothing in this world but his word, man. You look. I call you. Call. I'm here, baby. I'm here.
Yes,
It's,
indeed,
after the
brother.
fight, we could do another one. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? We ain't
indeed, we
gotta wait
will,
no
man.
2 years now.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate you, brother, man.
Man, I
I've been
appreciate you, man.
yes, indeed, brother. You keep doing what you're doing, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a special guest in the building. Hold on, first, before we go off, we gotta stamp the fight, man. We gotta stamp the fight. Where can they get tickets from for the fight, brother?
Y'all can get tickets. The number is 202 3520. Oh shit, that's the wrong number. I'm sorry. 202-361-8282. That's the number right there. I was ready to get y'all my number.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the number. That's the number right there. If you want tickets, man, call that number. Um, the Ticketmaster is cool too, but when y'all buy tickets from me, it benefits me. So you know what I'm saying. It's always better that y'all buy tickets from us. Give them the number again. And the number is 202-361-8282.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a very special guest in the building. No other than Jordan Short Dog White,
Yes,
the second
sir.
win sports media. I appreciate you for stopping through, brother.
Man, I appreciate you anytime, man. You got me here, baby.
Yes,
Anytime.
yes, indeed, brother. Peace and blessings, man.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
All right. It's still alive?
Yeah, I'm about to remove you there. Ladies and gentlemen, we got another addition to the show. Appreciate you, Short Dog, for coming through here, brother. Peace and blessings, brother. Yes, indeed. How's it going, fellas?
You.
Brian Crumb, how you feeling, man?
All right, just taking it easy, man. How you doing? How you doing?
All
You
is
got
well, man. We just had Short Dog on the show. He got a fight coming up. Jordan White, 15-1, man. Is an electrifying fight. 16-1, correction.
okay.
Just
Yeah, he
interview
on,
him.
he
So
on, he on the go.
he on his way, man. He's doing his
Yeah,
thing, man. I appreciate
Bad boy.
that boy for coming through. And the interview was wonderful, man. Sees he was one of them.
Yeah. I was checking it out as I was coming up. I was trying to log in so fast. I'm like, man, yeah, but it's all good.
yeah,
Man.
yeah, yeah.
He
And
was
I was
one of
trying to sit up in my basement, where I had the internet. Hopefully, I don't lose the connection. So,
It's all good, man. So what we gonna do, man? We gonna talk about, man. We got what's the time now? I lost track of time.
I got
It's
901.
9 o'clock. It's not
9 o'clock on the
Yeah.
dot. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. So what we gonna do is we gonna talk about the fight tomorrow between
Kambosos.
Kambosos and Lomachenko.
Silly.
Yeah.
We're gonna mention that fight. We got a few more guys supposed to be coming in, but we got to get started before they get in. They just have to come in and give their. And then we're going to talk about the top five, who have the best top five resumes in boxing history. Our top
Okay.
five. It's just our own personal opinions. Nobody is going to be 100%
Yeah.
correct because we're going to have different
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah. No,
Way
no right or
different.
wrong. Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
wrong. Right.
It's
So
like the sport, man. The sport objective, very list objective. You got your favorites. Everybody got their favorites and what they
yes,
like,
indeed.
what they look for. So it's all good.
Yes, indeed. So, what we'll do is we'll start off with the Kambosa fight versus Lomachenko.
There's Loma.
Who do you have sees on winning that fight? What's your predictions on it?
I can't go against Loma with that. I think just level of experience and just really style of fight. Like, well, Kambosos really his pressure type of fighting can be a problem for Loma, but I don't think he's skilled enough with it to do what he has to do with Loma. I think Loma can get pushed around, by a bigger guy, but I just don't think Cambos is the one that's going to do it. Cambos, Loma is just he got everything, man, and yeah, Cambosos ain't the one that's going to take care of that.
But Lomachenko Chen has been suspect lately, man.
Yeah,
A couple of times I've seen him get hit in the body, and he dropped them hands like from the amateur days.
uh-huh.
Get hit on the chin. It's not the Kambosa that we saw when he first turned pro, and for a couple of years. So it's gonna be a good fight. I just don't think. How do you pronounce the other guy's name?
Kambosos.
Cambosos, yeah.
Kambosos. Because I'm thinking about the other Kambosa. I think for 147. So I'm trying to forget that. But
Yeah.
this guy, he just doesn't look like he has the experience to really be in there. I think this is a fight that is his people got for him. He win, they're gonna stay with him. He lose, he off to 8-hour job.
Yeah, he on the farewell tour. He on the farewell tour trying to cash out. You know,
Like I
that's
say, he lose, he off to an 8-hour job.
he got paid for Devin. He got paid for them too. He getting another money fight. Then he could go out on the shield.
Okay, brother Golden Jr.
The worst part was I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna come in there try to do my whole entrance. Good evening, Mike. I'm like, what else? Then he came over and said, yeah, he gonna get an 8-hour job. I'm like, dang, God, Jesus. Jesus. Oh, God, dog, he just made over 20 million. God,
See, I'm old school. Ain't worried about the money.
brutal. Oh, that was brutal. Oh my goodness.
He gave him business.
He shouldn't step in the ring again. He makes the money. He shouldn't step in the ring again. I shouldn't have said, well, I'm old school. And,
Yeah. I know what it means. Yeah, I know what it means. It's time to call it a day. Take no more damage. Yeah. Oh, trust me. I've heard it. I've heard that saying. But first, I want to say thank you as always to you guys. You know, it's always an honor. Mr. Crumb, it's a pleasure to finally be on with you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, how you doing?
You know, I'm good, sir. I hope that, you know, I can talk some boxing with you and I can hold my own with you. But
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Kambosos, man. He not the same guy. I mean, I get it. You fight better competition as you go up. But man, he not the same guy I remember watching come up the ladder. I remember watching everybody always come to me about fight. Yo, can you find this guy for me? Hey, I'm about to fight this guy. Can you find this guy for me? Because they know I'm gonna watch the tape. When Kambosos came, I didn't know who he was. Which is rare for me. This is a lady that follows me. I tell this story all the time. Her name is her name is Cool Jane on it. So she said, hey, can you watch a friend of mine? Can you watch this guy, this countryman of mine? I said, sure. And he was, in dog shape. You know when you in shape, when you start dancing in the corner, you do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he in there having fun. Guys bringing turtle. Everything was fast, good reaction. And the best he looked was when he fought Gordo. For people who don't know, we called him Gordo through the amateurs, but Teofimo.
Yeah.
But that night, that was probably the best he looked because you're in there with another explosive guy, you're going to get hit sooner or later. When you fight the way the Kambosos, you're going to get hit sooner or later. So it was understood the damage they took against Gordo, but when he fought Devin, you expected for him that sidestep he always do, this is the night to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already know Devin gonna be pumping that jab all night. Wasn't there. And then you start seeing him getting hit with these shots. Like, okay, we know Devin is quick. He has a good piston jab, everything, but he don't see none of this stuff coming. To the point, me as a from a fight family, former fighter, I'm looking at it as, what is there something wrong with his eyes? Because he's getting hit with a lot of unnecessary shots. And he's taking constant punishment. I mean, constant shots. Same shot. The worst thing in boxing, you get hit with the same shot over and over again.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing ever. He getting hit with these shots. I'm looking at this like, okay, Devin controlling the pace, but it ain't like the pace against Gordo. So why ain't he stepping in and getting through his chest and, trying to, like, I'm not saying Devin is weak, but I'm saying, like, you're not even trying to make the commitment of, I'm going to grab this glove. I'm going to commit to this pick and get to where I need to go so I can start doing what I need to do. I saw none of that. And I was like, okay. Then the second fight was there. It was just a mirror. And he beat him. He beat him worse in the second fight. I mean, he really punished him. And I never forget what I learned from Al Heyman. He getting his severance package. Get your few fights.
Yeah.
Keep you out the door.
Yeah. That's what it is. He
and you
paid the lead.
Some of what I'm saying about Lomachenko. He been tapped on that chin on the side of his head a couple of times too many. too many times, and Kambosos, if he can land that shot, that hook to the head by the temple, Lomachenko may go out of there.
You think so?
When he
If he
went up
can
there, he hasn't been the same. He's not the same.
Mr. Crumb, I want to ask you, and I want to ask everybody on the panel. Y'all remember what we talking about here? 396-1. That's a lot of fights. That's a lot of tournaments. That's a lot of world class. You're basically fighting 12 rounds of tournament. That's how I try to explain to people when they're like, "How you go from fighting 4 rounds to 12 rounds?" And I said, firstly, it's because he don't fought so much. He probably spars 8, 10 all the time. Don't bother him. But when you fighting 4 guys a tournament, and then we go to international tournaments, they do 4 rounds sometimes.
Yeah.
You're fighting 4 guys. Sometimes, depending on how the bracket is, you might fight more. But you might sit there and fight a guy. You fighting 4 guys. You doing 12 rounds of tournament. You divide that by the fight you having a pro career.
Yeah.
So one thing I learned from the gym I grew up in, I saw a lot of guys leave themselves in the gym.
Yeah. Where did you train at when you were coming up?
With Mr. Rashid at Hillcrest.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
And the thing I learned, once it's beaten out of you, it's gone forever. You don't get it back. And you lose a little bit of it every time. Every single time. And you lose a little bit through sparring. And you sparring all the thing, and the thing I started to learn, the first guy that showed me it was Kennedy McKinney, where Kennedy was in Too Many Wars, and he started having him and Daniel Saragosa. Both of them guys having trouble in the later on. They had no problem going to war. And I'm not gonna say the fighter's name, but I remember a fighter telling my dad, he said, "Don, I wanted it. I wanted to get out, but my body would not let me do it.
Yeah.
My body was done." And that's basically your body telling you that's all that hard sparring catching up to us now. We done now. Ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, because I know quite a few guys in the area. A lot of their damage came from sparring.
Yeah.
I'm talking guys from the 80s who were world champions.
Yeah.
World champions, and they were champions. What's that? The U.S. champions and North American stuff like that. But yeah, that sparring takes a toll. And then when you get in the ring for real, that's taking a bigger toll. And that's what I'm thinking about Lomachenko. His record is impressive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's been touched in every last one of them fights. And, it can catch up with him. And I do know he's been hit on the chin a couple of times. And by him going up in weight, he just hasn't been the same.
And he just fight so many huge guys at 40. You said, man, these guys too big. When he fought Luke Campbell, remember he said this might be the last one up here because these guys getting too big.
Not knocking Luke, but Luke Campbell is not a big name in boxing like that.
Brother Daoud.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Feeling there, welcome in. I'm glad to have you guys, brothers, came on through, man. I really enjoy these. We're gonna start doing these from here on out, man, or every fight.
That's good.
So we're gonna do this every fight, man. Every fight that comes up that that's really something that we want to talk about, we're gonna do it.
That's right.
So give your predictions on this fight between Kambosos and Lomachenko.
I think Kambosos is going to go for the rough house type of thing. He's going to try to rough him up.
Mm-hmm.
He feels he's the toughest.
Right.
But it can go either way. It depends what Lomachenko is coming in. And if he let him control the pace, he's going to probably win by decision. If Kambosos let him control the pace, let him do his thing, like stay on the outside, do a lot of pivoting, jabbing, and sitting back waiting. If you sit back and wait, he's going to lose. because Lomachenko going to steal rounds, and he's going to be finessing him all the way.
Yeah.
If he break his rhythm, he's a rhythm type of fighter. So if he break his rhythm by fighting a little aggressive inside, roughing him up, hitting him, he have a chance. But if he sit back and wait and let Lomachenko do what he want to do, he's gonna add up on the points, and he may even stop him if he let him just tee off on him and wait. So he had to fight more aggressive, more so the big man type of bullying, type of overpowering him.
Yeah.
And making him pay for everything he do. But Kambosos is a rough guy. He's rough, and he's very gritty. So you remember he's the man that beat the man at one time. So you still got to keep that in the back of your mind. I know in boxing style makes fight, but he's still the man that beat the man that you had trouble with.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, we do use that slogan, but we do be worried about when he beat him. We say that slogan all the time as fighters. We all do. But we in the back of our head, we all get skeptical about who that Joker beat too now. So, we do use the slogan. That's our favorite slogan.
Yes, it.
Styles make fights, but you just see him knock somebody out the day before that, and you got fighters the next day. You worried about it.
Yeah. Sometimes
it don't work. Sometimes it just don't work because Ali beat Foreman easy.
Yeah, real talk.
Frazier couldn't beat Foreman.
The stage is life.
Yep.
So you can't always use that all the time.
Yep.
I think whoever got the best game plan, boxing is a game plan, and it's a sport. People give a lot of credit to the boxer. The boxer's good, but the game plan is your coach. The game plan, what's the camp is like, how you prepare for the camp. Because when you look at Haney,
right,
this fight, his father, to me, he wasn't prepared for this. He wasn't prepared when he fought Ryan. I know Ryan was a little bigger, but he did not prepare. And he was throwing a jab, wasn't bringing his hand back up to his face.
Yeah.
And I think when he got hit and he felt that power, he was never the same. He was really more scared to I think he took his heart from that point on. He was scared to take those chances. He was more like surviving, like at least you ain't knocked me out type. That's what he was thinking. Like, at least you ain't knocked me out. You know what I'm saying? He wanted a moral victory at that point. He couldn't dig deep because it was taken out of him, all the win. And so I want to say Lomachenko may win this fight. I think he have a better IQ than Kambosos. I think he have a better IQ. Like I say, if he let him do what he want and he don't chastise him and he let him dictate the pace, he will lose if he can't dictate the pace, because he do a lot of fighting in angles. If he let him get his way with the angles, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
He's going to be on this side. He's going to be jumping on this side. He's going to be on this side. And but we'll see that his age catch up with him, or he'll have that spurt, because he may have a chip on his shoulder, man, because he can't keep losing. He may have a chip.
When is that fight? Is it Saturday night or Sunday night?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday night. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the weigh-in was the day.
Right. Now, you said something that was interesting about trainers, because when you were talking, when you said that, I remember what Andrew Maynard told me when he was getting ready for Bobby Chairs.
Mm-hmm.
We were training at Ray Leonard's gym together, and I remember, Maynard, he won the Olympics throwing more punches than anybody, just walking guys, banging them up.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we met in the gym, and Pepe had Andrew dancing around like Ray Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he had 2 left feet and 3 right feet. When we got upstairs, my lock was upstairs. So when Andrew came up, we got to talk, and I said, "Hey, Drew, I got a question for you. Why are they trying to make you dance around the ring?" And his words to me were, he said, "Brian, I pay my trainers to get me ready. This is the fight plan they want me to do. Mm-hmm. It's my job now to do it."
Right.
And if there's nothing else I can say, here I am, an amateur, I'm talking to a pro. And when he told me that, I was like, all right. So what I learned, you do only what your trainers tell you.
That's right. They watch the
You know?
tape and everything. They watch the tape. They prepare for you, and you have to execute it, because as fighters, we can't see what's in the ring all the time. This is why you need an experienced coach that can guide you in. Your coach is like a general. In the military, when you go to war, you need somebody to guide you in. You may be a sniper, but you still need somebody to guide you in the brain to articulate the path. We going this way. You may be sharp with the weapons, but you still need somebody to bring you in. You're just as good as your coach is. So a lot of times we don't give coaches a lot of credit.
Yeah.
The Mark Johnsons, all these guys are great fighters because they had to have a great coach. You can't just be great by yourself.
That's true.
Right.
So
when you said that, I was thinking about, and this is why I take my hat off to Mr. Hinton. When he trained me, amateur and pro.
That's right.
On a minute break, on a 1 minute break, when I sat down on the stool, he gave me 20 seconds, like at least 20 seconds, to tell him what I saw.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right.
Like that.
What I saw. And after a few fights, it was no more that we were on the same page.
That's right.
And I think that's where the relationship come with the trainers and the boxers. But these guys now, a lot of them jump ship. You know,
they want somebody to kiss their behind. They
Exactly.
And
they're not paying, you know, and I have this thing
I ain't
with
gonna
trainers,
pay
they're
you
not paying them.
and all that. So when you pick a trainer, you saying that I trust you.
Right.
It's like you picking your wife. You saying I picked my wife for a certain thing, that this is gonna be my life partner. I'm gonna pick her because I see something in her. That's the same thing about a coach. This is why you as a fighter, all coaches do not match you. So you have to find a match, because every coach is not your style. No matter how good they are, some coaches can bring some things out of you, and some cannot bring it out of you. The old school boxers, I don't care what nobody say, but this new school boxing is not what it is, because old school boxers have the science of boxing. You look at Rick Bowe, Eddie Fussman was teaching these guys pivoting, they was parrying, they were using the shoulders,
inside control.
I can take you back to Eastern Branch Boys and Girls. And this is before I started boxing. You know, I'm big in the martial art world, sport karate world. I tell people, I say, I remember Eastern Branch Boys and Girls Club down in the basement. There used to be a toilet stool sitting in the middle of the floor. Couldn't figure out what it was for. So I got there, you know, because we just sit in the middle of the floor in the boxing room, but it was sitting in the middle of the floor in the bathroom. I got there early one day, and I said, I'm going down there and see what these guys are doing with this toilet stool. I met him. He taught guys how to slip punches sitting on the toilet stool. And it was like, I never seen, you know, I'm sitting there laughing. I'm coming from the karate world. I'm like, man, I throw a kick, all that slipping here, that stuff ain't gonna work. I throw a few kicks, you know, with one leg, but you know, so I'm laughing, but you know, had no idea. A year later, I'd be boxing and learning how to do this stuff. But I remember Ham teaching guys how to do that stuff, and you don't see guys doing that stuff anymore. You rarely hear any guys tell the kids to move their head.
That's right.
No, thank you.
No fainting, none of that. The fainting.
I've gone to gyms. I've gone to gyms, and I see guys. I don't see kids know how to go to the body properly. I don't see them moving their head.
Nope.
I see them blinking their eyes on the inside, and I tell them, I said, Mark Two Shot Johnson used to be nicknamed Mark Blinking You Gone Johnson.
That's right.
I've seen Mark fight guys, and they blink. When they woke up, the fight was over with. When he was 106 pounds. I've seen that. You know, but when I go to the gyms, I'm just shaking my head. You know, now I've seen video of Andrew Council. I would say that brother, he is teaching those guys correctly.
That's correct.
And Ernesto, who lives a couple of houses down from me. I see both those guys, you know, they're teaching their guys. But I go some other places, I say, man, they're going to have these kids walking around with slurred speech. Sitting down looking like fighters from the 80s.
That's right. And I see guys, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dawg. I just want to say this because y'all been there way longer than me. Y'all was with my dad. I don't even. My father taught me when I started getting in there with guys about. He said, "Man, I'm gonna teach you about. I'm gonna show you what punchy is. You need to know this.
Yeah.
You need to know that." It was a serious conversation. You do you really want to do this? Because you're gonna have fights that you're gonna have easy. There's gonna be times where you can't box no more. You're gonna have to fight, and you're gonna might have to leave a piece of yourself that you may not get back.
Right.
I don't hear coaches talking about that. I don't hear coaches they having them do these hard sparring sessions, and it's like
For what?
I grew up watching, and I tell this story all the time, Mr. Crone. Miss Rasheed knows this, Mr. Dawg knows this. I will come in, my little 4-year-old, I got my game, my line, Miss Rasheed got my Game Boy in my hand. I sneak off, go hit the bag, come back, sit on the stool, watch them spar. As soon as they about to spar, I gotta go. I run back, go sit down.
Right.
I didn't know the difference between what I saw at Hillcrest and going home and turning on HBO. I didn't know the difference. Only difference I saw was they had a hat on and they got a t-shirt on. That's all I would say is, Mom, it's just like on HBO. They just got a t-shirt on and a hat.
Yeah.
Do you know in this era, I seen Brian Crum and everybody fight in the tournaments. I fought with all of y'all. Do you know the open class and stuff fighter was almost really like miniature pros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like miniature pros because a lot of us sparred with a lot of pro guys.
Yeah.
All the time.
And some of us got over some of them too. Got out on some of them too.
Oh, no.
So that the open class.
I got a lot of stories on that, but
yeah, semi pros, and you can learn a lot. But the thing is, today, they don't really, they just spar, but sparring is really for you learning, not to be going over, and it's not for you to be talking about I knock you out and spawn. That spawn is not really for that. Some people want to use spawn as a victory. I knock your head in. You're supposed to be learning.
Ray Leonard heard me say this one time, and that was like one of the things that really drew him to me for him and I to develop a relationship. I was talking about sparring, and I told him, I said, when I spar, even when I was an amateur, I was taught sparring is when I work on things.
That's right.
One round, I'm going to do what I do.
That's right.
The next round to the end, I'm going to work on what I need to do.
That's correct.
And the conversation that Ray and I had before that, he showed me how to throw the right hand properly. A lot of people don't know how to throw the right hand.
That's
they
right.
throw it, but he showed me the proper way how to do it. And I spent like forever after that perfecting that right hand, jab step, and dropping that short right hand. So everybody think that right hand has to be out here. That right hand is like right here.
Sure.
You drop that shoulder into it.
Throw that brick on him. Put the brick on him.
And you turn your hips and dip. Night. You know. But I remember whenever I threw the right hand, that's all I wanted to remember. You know, that's all I did. And you don't see that today. Everybody, it's something when everybody in the neighborhood or the community know this kid is going to spar today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and then another thing too, coaches is very important because Haney, that's the young brother that I love the young brother. His father needed to get another experienced coach in there with him.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
I think sometimes if we have a father and son relationship, sometimes that can be hard because you love your son so much.
Give it comes
More so than anything, and it could become a detriment to you. Get an experienced coach. There's nothing wrong. You bring your son to the promised land. It's nothing wrong with getting another experienced coach, and we can go back to the drawing board and learn how to do certain things because Devin don't punch correctly.
Yeah.
He got power.
You said that, I'm thinking about Adrian Davis.
He got power. He just don't punch correctly. He throw arm punches.
Right.
He don't have no torque in him. He don't turn things over.
He don't turn them over. You don't turn that hip, you know.
From his hip over.
Yeah.
He had power. You see when this man turned his back, he was just hitting him on the hip like he would pop, 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 pop. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to pivot this way and drop the uppercut on him when he turned his butt to him.
Yeah.
Little things like that. I know he can crack hard, but he fought the wrong fight, and I think fear. He had fear. He was fighting off nervous energy and nervous.
Yeah. You talking about the Haney fight?
Yeah, he was fighting off.
A lot of people think I'm crazy when I say this. I think he was overtrained for that fight.
Yeah.
When he stepped in the ring and took that jacket off, I looked at his gut. I said he took this boy lightly.
He did that.
I said he took him lightly.
He did.
He overtrained in the wrong areas. He looked like he was more concerned about trying to develop muscle than technique.
Yep, he sure was. He did the same thing like what's the name doing the same thing? What's the Brown Bomber trying to pack on?
Oh, when you fought Tyson Fury for the second time, yes, sir.
Put on muscles, and in his career they want to change his style. He's a puncher. You can't change him to a boxer. He looked terrible in the fight.
He's like an Andrew Maynard. What I'm saying. Why are you taking trying to teach him how to box a puncher how to box? It ain't
do it.
After his career, he been winning like that. So it's like Hurd. Hurd changed his style. He was too late to change your style.
Yeah.
The style that him and Ernesto worked on. He had to finish his career like that. You can't change the game in the ninth inning. You're gonna lose because the way you was fighting, that's how you won championships. Steamroll over them. That's how he was
running them out of the ring.
Yeah, running them out the ring, breaking their wheel down, breaking the wheel down.
I don't even talk about the Hurd fight when he lost because I was at the place over in Rivertown, Outback.
Okay.
And Dusty and the guy that beat Jared, they came in. So me and Dusty was talking. He, I had to bring him back to who I was. We got to talk and we talk about the fight, right? I'm telling the dude, I'm like, they brought the dude in to fight Jared. They just brought him in town. Look good. He gets stopped or whatever. And the guy was like, nah, the dude can fight, right? So I ain't think nothing else of it. He just kept telling me he was hell bent on the dude could fight and win. The next night, I'm watching the fight, right? I said, that's the dude that I'm saying him is going to lose to Jared.
Yeah.
He told he didn't say I was going to beat him. He was like, nah, the dude can fight. He ain't going to be like that. So,
Yeah.
That was just wild when Jared
he had a game plan. He came determined and he was like the game plan, they mastered the game plan.
They saw a weak link in that chain that wasn't straight,
man,
and they exposed it.
I would like to speak on a personal experience with this, if that's okay for everyone on the panel.
Go ahead.
Something I have never said publicly.
Remember, we call this, like we say in the gym, this free fall. That's free falling right now. Yes, indeed.
Okay. I was the speed guy with Jared. I was, if I had legs, I had rounds, I would work with Jared. Of course, Jared taking the power off because I'm lighter, 20, whatever pounds lighter. But I was the one who could switch, righty, lefty, whatever. But J-Rock can fight better on the inside off the Philly Shield than I can. But I can do the Philly Shield. So this is back when Jared was still undefeated. I want to say he hadn't even fought Laura yet. And we're moving around. And we all throwing out who y'all think Jared's big fight gonna be, right? And he was like, man, it may be Laura. And he was like, I said Caleb Plant. He said, nah, Caleb Plant gonna go up to 68. And I'm gonna be at 60. And they was like, nah, it's gonna be Laura. Jared's like, man, I'm an in Laura. I promise. If you thought I'm an in Laura.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? If it ain't Charles, I think it'll be J-Rock. And that's when J-Rock was about to fight Twin. He was gonna fight. Yeah, so we get dressed. We're about to spar. We're all helping Jared. I want to say it was the JoJo Dan fight, and Uncle Ness was like 2 rounds, give him right-handed. 2 rounds, give him southpaw. Cool. So at one point, because Jared will walk in like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pulling this way, and Jared, I could spin a lot of guys, but that motherfucker like a daggone tree trunk leaning on me. But like, get off me. But I'm leaning, and I would pull, and I would throw it. He would lean on me so I could stay in the corner because he knew. He would say, "Nah, Drew, you ain't moving today." He would tell me like, "You ain't moving today." I ain't catching you today. But I did this and do an overhand. Like do a short, choppy, like right there towards here. Fast forward, it's over, session over, and I tell him, hey, you gotta remember, you may fight J-Rock one day. And J-Rock's the type, but he's a Georgie Benton type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where he came up in Philly, very old school. He fights very similar to Georgie Benton in a way. Mm-hmm. Only difference is he don't be on the outside doing this like Georgie Benton used to do. You have to know, J-Rock has a habit of he will let you pull in and he will lock on his legs. And the next thing you know, you think you're working. And as soon as you feel, it's like James, remember when James Worthy used to play as soon as he felt any type of lean or pressure, he gone. Whatever way he feel he want to go. As soon as J-Rock feels any inkling, you leaning on him, boom, and he throws it. It's that quick. Because he knocked one guy out on Showbox with it. Yeah. And I was telling him. And he was like, all right, I got you. And I said, you got to remember that because, and he also knows how to lock your leg. He does it real subtly. As soon as you think, okay, your leg is on the outside of his, he all of a sudden throw something and he'll do this and move his knee right inside yours. And now he got you where he wants you. Now he can really work on the inside. He'll be comfortable there. So just be prepared for that. I told him that. Told him. And the first thing that buzzed him, it came over top. I was like, oh, no. Move. I was like, oh.
She reminded me of Joe Frazier,
rough.
Jacqueline Frazier. When we all trained together at round one. I'm listening to you. This how you talking. I'm like, man, this sounds like Joe Frazier's daughter. Before she fought Layla. When she was training down round one on Ritchie Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I just don't understand, like, to the 2 parts where you was talking about with your trainer. It was times, like you said with Mr. Hen, I had those incidents with my dad where I could just move around the ring and get a quick glance at him and know what he wanted out of me. And I knew what dad wanted. But also, my dad was going to chew me out. He didn't care, like, because he doesn't want to see me make a horrible mistake and get caught with something that I shouldn't be getting caught with.
Right.
And to the spawn, my father, I'll never forget. I think it was me, Jared, Uncle Nesto, and the great AD, Mr. Adrian Davis. And I was telling Jesse, you know why you could get away with jumping off the stool, running at these guys and all that stuff? I said, because you ain't had all them amateur fights. You ain't been doing this since 4 years old like me, who didn't fight, did the chance to fight, but was sparring all the time and cancel guys. So you got more legs, and you gonna make Laura feel those 38-year-old. You gonna make them feel those legs.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I was telling him about old Hillcrest, and Adrian Davis was like, yeah, that was headbangers before head. A lot of gyms were headbangers before headbangers.
Right.
And Uncle Nesto did. He said, "What y'all talking about?" And Jared said, "Talking about how he telling me how the old gym used to be." And he was like, "Yeah, I left a lot there." Like I left a lot there. And I remember him and my dad, Nesto and my dad had a conversation. He said, "Man, we don't need to do that with our kids these days, man." He said, "Well, when the fight coming up, if we ain't got no fight coming up, see where he at, have like maybe a spawn here and there to see where he at." But in between that technical spawn working on this, because this ain't badminton that we doing. This ain't badminton. You know, you can get hurt doing this. So he said, when we got a fight coming up, we picking it up. Because we got to see where you at. Because what can happen.
Right.
You know, and I was told you going in there not to bet. I'm not there to kill you. I'm trying to help you get to the money, but I ain't going to babysit you either.
Right.
Now, what you just said, that goes by one of the conversations I had about training and practicing.
Right.
People get them confused.
They do.
Practicing is you go in the gym and you work on one. And I learned this from Jamal Hinton. Excuse me. I learned this from Jamal Hinton. Go in the gym, you practice. You don't have a fight coming up. You in the gym, you're practicing on things you don't know how to do as well.
There you go. There you go.
You drill you again. I think I know when Jamal passed away, I talked about how I think I told you, Vishal.
Yeah.
We were running over at Greenbelt Park and came in the gym, hit the bags, and we went down Lawton the train, the spa.
Yeah.
But he, for an hour, he did nothing but a jab, slip, right hand, left hook to the head, to the body, right hand. That's all he did for an hour, and the bag barely moved. It like jumped up and down. Nothing else. And I just learned he's practicing.
Yeah.
But then when I knew when it was time to fight.
Right.
Because when he went to the bag, now he's putting everything together.
Right.
So, and I don't hear coaches talk, I see kids going to the gym and they burning themselves out doing the same thing every single day instead of knowing the difference between their trainers, knowing the difference between practicing and training.
Exactly. It's a big difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, also, Mr. Crump, it's also my generation too. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I was active and even now, like I still work on weaknesses. Like, okay, one of my things is I got to get better with walking to my right. I can walk to my right, but controlling the distance better when I go to my right. So I may do that for 4, 5, 6 rounds straight. You guys, anybody else, they'll tell you, like, no, we're going to stay little dog, work on the same thing over and over again. But there's some teammates and peers, they get in there and they start shadow boxing and they not even imagining an opponent.
Right.
They not imagining, is he tall? Is he short? Is he bringing it to you? Is he bringing a lot of pressure? Is he straightforward but throw a lot of body shots? Or is he throw a lot of head movement when he comes forward? Or is he playing chess with you? They don't even imagine the opponent. They just get in there and just start shadow boxing.
Your dad trained you well, but you just have a lot of guys who did not have that, unless, like I said, when I first started at Ray, because when I first started, I was at round 1 and I left. It was great there, but it was just a neighborhood thing. Kenilworth and Paradise and Kenilworth in the 80s was at war with each other, and them guys inside round 1 on Tuxedo Road. And I rolled out, and man, I ain't getting, I'm not gonna get hurt.
That, yeah.
So I went to Ray Leonard gym, but I would say it all depends too. A lot of guys in there, but I think if the trainers see that you got a little something, they're willing then to come over. Because I experienced that. They'll come over and start putting that time with you,
Right,
and talking with you.
That's real.
And another thing too is that when you look, I remember walking in the gym and seeing Hurd and Ernesto. I think he was like 11-0 and 13-0 at that time. I told him to be prepared because you never know when you're gonna get that championship title.
Dad told him the same thing.
And sure enough, he was stepped up for the title to fight Tony, and he beat Tony to win the title. You remember Tony? He beat Tony for the world championship. Now, trainers are important. Like Rashifah was a good trainer too. Now, these are good trainers. Good trainers is somebody can also train somebody else and make somebody else a champion too, not just their children.
Right.
You got to be able to do it again. Show me again, just like Jay-Z told Damian Dash, if you was like that, then make another one. Ernesto is building Hillcrest back over to legendary again.
Yeah.
They're winning.
Yeah, that nostalgia.
I got to head on love Super Nesto. You know, that's
do
my
too.
crew right there. You know, I fought in Nesto when I first turned open. We battled down there in Tacoma Park.
Yeah.
We had a good fight. He beat me on decision. But we had some Hillcrest is rebuilding.
Really?
And he's a good coach, you know, because they are rebuilding. Hillcrest is going back legendary. They are doing it. And just like this gym, no excuse. They doing it.
They doing
You know, they winning.
They winning everything.
Everything.
Is that the one down here in Clinton?
Yeah, Austin Hill.
Clinton, yeah, it's in Clinton.
No excuse.
It's in what's that? Marlow Heights. They got one in there. They got two gyms.
They got two.
They
some of the fighters fight there, I think, and then they move over there off fighting in Capitol Heights or Walker Road.
That's right.
I used to go over there and see them before Boogaloo passed away. I used to go up there sometimes.
Yeah.
But in this area brings back a lot of memory, man. And I had so much fun to think about it. There should be a gym on every corner in like between DC and Maryland.
I would say Burgess started that, you know, because I knew Burgess from running with my uncles back in the day, you know, growing up with my family.
Yeah.
And Miss Burgess, I can't think of the guy's name. He had Paul Jones, Paul Williams, not Paul Jones, Paul Williams.
Burgess had him. I know Burgess and
Burgess and the light skinned guy was with him. But man, them guys are all like my uncles.
Yeah.
But for me, I would say having the right trainer. The one guy I wish I would have listened.
Still there, brother?
Very froze.
Yeah, we had some good trainers. We was blessed to see a lot of good trainers.
Brother, he did. Is he using a phone? Is that his phone?
Yeah, he said
Okay, there he is.
What was Gary? What's his name? Gary Russell's dad.
Russell.
Okay.
Yeah,
he always wanted to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, man. He was nice.
It was nice.
He always wanted to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
Always wanted to work with me. And that's the one thing I regretted in boxing. You know, Kitten had me and Claude. I worked with Adrian and Dave Jacobs worked with me a little bit.
Yeah.
I always, you know, I should have went with him, and Al Scott worked with me too. Him and
Leonard Langley. Yes, indeed. So, fellas, I want to get on this next topic.
Okay.
And this next topic is who has, listen out, top 5 greatest boxing resumes in boxing history. This is a very complex. I thought it was simple to do this shit. I tried it earlier.
Man.
My list I was like, oh man, it is so many people. I intentionally do 5 for a reason, because I know we can pick 10, but I did 5. It's just our 5. And for the audience out there, we are going to not say your favorite fighter. Please don't get mad.
I'm gonna get cussed out.
Get mad at me.
I'm gonna get cussed out. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Hey, whatever.
I know my first 2, and nobody in this generation ever watched them fight live.
Right.
Look, JR, look at JR.
Who on first?
Let's start with you with your number. Let's start like this. Right now that y'all already got y'all 5, right? Give me an honorable mention first. We're gonna start with
honorable mention.
Who didn't crack the top 5
off the head. So start with you. Go ahead, Crumb. You got one? Go ahead, Crumb. What you say?
Honorable mention for me would be Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, Floyd Mayweather is Crumb's honorable mention. JR, who's your honorable mention off the top?
Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea, great choice as well. C's, what's your honorable mention?
I had 2. I'm gonna break it down to 1. Honorable mention gonna be Sugar Shane.
Sugar Shane, great one as well. Brother Daoud, what's your honorable mention off the top?
It's a tough pick. Let me throw one out there. Let's see. I'm thinking of a boxer now. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
And
Actually, I had
It's one
two.
with a nice resume that you think that fought everybody.
That for everyone.
Well, Floyd didn't fight everybody, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
everyone.
nice.
He beat a lot of world champions. I want to say, um, hey man,
It's all good.
I'm going through. I'm
It's
going
somebody
through
that ain't on your list.
I'm going through the Rolodex in my brain right now
Yeah,
because I'm trying to pick like more world champions on the resume,
right.
more world champions and quality type of fighters, and I'm trying to piece that together. Um, more world champions. Let's see.
Or just anybody that you know that fought everybody that you know that ain't gonna be in your top five. It's,
Okay,
it's yours. It's yours. It ain't nobody get.
I can say James Tony.
Okay, that's a great choice. Yeah, they're a hell of a choice. Yeah, that's the top
Yeah,
dog.
I was trying to think of
Hell of a
Tony
choice.
earlier too.
Well, my honorable mention is Hector Camacho as honorable mention. Yep. So now we're gonna go to our number five. Starting with you, brother Brian Crumb. Your number five is.
my number 5.
Yep.
Oh man, I got to remember. I got to go down the list on my
I,
5 was ready to give you from 1 to 5.
I got you. I got you.
5. Mark Johnson.
Mark Johnson, hell of a choice. Hell of a
When he
choice.
was 106, I think he went to 114 or 119. But when he was 100, when he first won that title, the first African American flyweight,
112.
That one, yeah.
112.
112.
He, yeah, because I remember when he was 106, and then he moved up a little bit, and we made contact. But
Yeah.
he fought everybody, and he
Damn
had it harder because he had hard fights.
From the
For
jump.
most people, the Hispanics and the Philippines,
Yep.
Filipinos,
He
he
fought
has
once in California too. He had to go to
Over
California.
to Cali. He had to go over to Cali.
and he fought him in their backyard. He didn't fight
Yes,
him,
indeed.
That's
So
right.
I would say Mark would be my 5th.
Give me your fifth, brother JR.
My first guy would be battling Levinsky because he fought 3 times in one day in different states,
Okay.
along with fighting Toy Bulldog for Joe Gans. That was another great from Maryland. And at the time, he wound up also. I want to say after he fought for a title, defending his title and fought two. I think he fought 6 times in 2 months. I might be wrong, but close. Yeah,
Damn.
and won all of those fights.
That's what's up.
Mhm.
All right, C's your number 5.
Number 5 gonna be for me. Um, the greatest Ali, man. I think, and that's because like he fought every heavyweight in his era, which was the golden age of heavyweights. He ain't duck nobody. He fought them all
Yep.
in the golden age of heavyweight. So got to make my list. Number 5, Ali. I wanted to get him number 4, but
That's a wise choice as well, man. All of y'all choices, man. I'm loving them, man. Brother Daoud, your number 5.
Henry Armstrong fighting
Henry
3
Armstrong.
weight class from featherweight.
Why would you
All
fight?
3 of them. He fought featherweight, lightweight, and junior welterweight.
Okay.
No, welterweight. Remember, there was no junior people. There was no junior classes. This man had to gain a whole rack of weight just to move up, and then
He was doing it constantly, like he was just taking a spot, going here, fight featherweight, go up here, next weight, then go up there, and then come back down. They go up here. He'll keep doing it throughout the whole year, fighting all 3 weight classes.
Yeah. Now imagine guys trying to do that today.
Hell, they get their ass whooped. They get their ass whooped today trying that.
And plus, it's a lot of drugs and stuff into this new thing now, so we have to be careful. They got a lot of peg stuff.
That's true statement. So my number 5 is Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis didn't duck none of them either, man. He was one of the ones that, man, he fought Tua, he fought Tommy Morrison, he fought Holyfield, Mike Tyson. He fought a lot of champions, man, out there, and that's why I picked him as number 5 on the list. All right, brother Crumb, you're number 4.
Number 4 at middleweight. Not anything else. At middleweight, Roy Jones.
Okay. Roy Jones.
At middleweight. Not Roy Jones going up, but Roy Jones at middleweight.
Okay. Roy Jones put that work in.
Yeah.
Brother JR.
Yeah. Charlie Burley. The great Charlie Burley. Why? Because he fought everybody all the way up to light heavyweight. And he knocked out guys at light heavyweight. And it's still a travesty, a sad travesty to this day that he never got his fair shake at all. And he fought any and everybody that you put in front of him. This is the same guy that the greatest of all time, in my opinion, especially at welterweight, Sugar Ray Robinson, near and dear to my heart, walked into a gym with his 3-piece suit and top hat.
Okay.
Snuck in the gym and saw Charlie Burley spawn for 1 round. And he walked out of there. He said, "You think you gonna make the fight?" When he said, "Man, I'm too pretty to spar to fight Charlie, man. I'm out of here." And walked out.
Damn. That's a hell of a story right there, brother. Hey, number 4 for you, brother. Number 4 for you, brother. C's.
4. I'm gonna go with Ray Leonard.
Okay. And
it's just fighting the kings in them and moving in different weight divisions and taking the biggest fights in different weight divisions. You know what I mean? And not ducking nothing as well. So them golden fights between him, Duran, Hearns, Hagler.
Yes, indeed.
Just you can't.
Golden
gotta
Boy
put him up here.
when he won them 2. He won that light heavyweight and that junior. I mean that middleweight title. He's Leonard was a killer though. He had killer instinct.
Even giving him credit for stepping in with Terry Norris. It's like Terry was a bad boy. He ain't had to take that fight. So
he kept taking a lot of breaks too.
He stayed strong in the game.
Yeah, but it's resume. I'm giving you credit for the fight, And Benitez, you think of Benitez. Man, that's the 5th king,
Yes, indeed. You can say that again.
Brother Dawu.
I'm going with George Benton.
Okay.
Oh, you wrong.
The original Philly Shell. He the one created the Philly Shell.
Okay.
And he was a magnificent boxer. He just sometimes the thing didn't fall the way it wanted to in the end for him, but he was a very extraordinary fighter, and he's the one that invented the Philly Shell. The credit that Floyd and James Toney all of them used, that was him that created the Philly Shell.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. Okay, we going down to number 3. Number 3, Brother Crumb. Your number 3.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. I didn't give my number 4. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
You trying to cheat.
My number 4 is Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay. For the same reasons.
That was said earlier.
You know what I'm saying? He said earlier. Just basically, let me say something. The 4 King era alone puts any of them 4 in this category. We can juggle them around. The difference is Ray Leonard brought the 4 Kings to the level that it became because of his stardism, because of his charisma, the great trainers used to say about Ray Leonard, they already knew Ray Leonard had it, right?
Mhm.
He could go speak to a lady, and the lady be like, "Oh God, I want to see him again. Just talk to him again."
Yeah, James Morton told me that.
Yeah, that's exactly who said it.
James Morton
Exactly.
told me that. Yeah.
Same story. That's who told me the
Matter of
same
fact, James Morton's wife, she fell in love with Ray.
thing from talking to him.
Yeah, from talking to him.
Just
Yeah.
from talking. So Ray
Yeah.
Leonard had that electrifying it factor that nobody really had, which made the Four Kings much more powerful and
Right.
greater as a group.
Can I say one thing about my thing with Ray Leonard? He in all of his big fights, one thing that like people when you look at Floyd's fights, you pretty much know Floyd's going to win, or you know you have a strong sense it's set for him to win.
Yeah,
When Ray Leonard in his era, even when he fought Floyd Sr.,
true statement.
Yes.
a lot of Ray's fights, it was 50-50.
50, real talk. Real talk.
It wasn't none of this stuff that Ray is going to do that. And you know, my second home is Detroit, and I tell people when he fought Tommy Hearns, people don't realize Detroit first had that depression in the 80s, in 81, when Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns fought. People were putting their mortgages
Putting their houses up. Yes, it's true. I heard that.
No, Detroit is my second home. People were putting their mortgages up. People were putting their cars up. People were putting businesses up. I mean, you name it, they were put all for Tommy Hearns. See, a lot of people don't know when Tommy fought Ray and lost, they had to get Tommy out of Detroit for a little bit.
Yeah.
It took street guys to let Tommy know he's straight.
Right.
Because people didn't even know Tommy watched boxing, lost their house, you know, because they saw that right hand.
Yeah.
And then they saw Ray and they didn't figure that Ray could get away from that right hand.
Yeah.
So, you know, so and that's what I tell people when it comes to Ray Leonard, Ray was never in the fight when you looked at it on paper and said, "Oh, Ray gonna win this one."
Nah, you wasn't sure. You was like, it was 50. Right.
I just want to capitalize off that, please, if I can.
You got it.
So, of course, my dad trained with Mr. Ray, so I would hear stories. And you know, some people they, pump stories up higher than what it's supposed to be. And I saw on Legendary Nights with one of the guys. I'm watching the Legendary Nights thing, and as we're watching, Dad's telling me, yeah, this was going on at this time. This was going on at this time. And the guy said, man, some people from Detroit were at the fight, and they were like, I think he had a heart to go up to him and say, man, I bet my house on you, man.
Yeah, people lost their houses, man.
And they did it again in '85 when he fought Hagler. Someone was putting up, different guys. All the gangsters was there in '85 to watch him fight Hagler. Yeah. And I found out Mr. Roger had said, he said, man, I didn't think my brother could beat no Tommy Hearns. 6'1", long reach. Ray always been a sucker for a right hand since he was a teenager. I was like, dang. Oh my God.
Roger a funny dude, but he's straight up,
And Mr. Ollie Dunlap said, he said, man, he was watching it. And the whole time he said, Roger's like, man, I'm sweating. He said, he was looking at Ollie, man, I'm sweating. He said, yeah, I'm sweating too. And he said, move, Ray, slide, Ray. And every time he said the first rain that landed when Ray tried to pull off and it came across because he didn't know how long his arms was, he was like, pow. Ollie said, oh my God, long night. We're going to have a long night. Yeah. It's going to be a long night.
God. Yeah, because Jenks had told me, when he was really healthy, we had lunch together up at Wagner's. And we was talking. And he told me, he was like, one of the biggest lies in the world that was told the night of that fight, they've been trying to say that Tommy Hearns had a massage.
Okay.
And all that stuff. And Jenks told me, he said that's the biggest lie. He said, I sat outside Tommy's hotel room and ain't nobody go in there, and then nobody come out but Tommy and Manny Stewart. You
Right.
know,
So that
so
was
he
And
was.
Emmanuel Stewart still, all to his dying day, he said, I blew that fight, not Tommy. Because I trained him because of the moment. I trained him so hard. He came in at 145. People forget that. He
Yep.
came in at 145. And he said, I till this day believe, he said in the interview, he said, till this day, I believe if he had those 2 extra pounds at the weigh-in, that would have got him to the 15th instead of the 14th. And Ray said when he saw him at the weigh-in, he was like, "Oh, this mother is emaciated. I'm gonna kill this mother. He's done. He's already burnt out. He dried it." He said later, because back then, for people who don't know, the weigh-ins was at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you ate, you rest, you show up.
Believe
That
it or not,
kept guys
I
from
believe,
going up. That kept guys from being all that weight like
believe it or
today.
not, the weigh-ins are still the same. Those other weigh-ins be mostly dress rehearsals. They already be weighed in.
Yeah, yeah,
Even with,
they,
I found this out through the Garcia fight. They weighed in
yeah,
early in
yeah,
the day.
yeah.
So
They
when
trying to do it like the UFC.
they
Yep.
bringing that back, they bringing that back to that where they weigh in. But I heard it been that way for real. That the second weigh that we see is not the real weigh-in on
Yeah.
the fight
I
card.
don't know because
Not on
I
the.
fought a couple of times on some shows, and we
I'm not
weighed
talking about
in.
we weighed in at the normal time. I'm talking about the major fights. That's like the big fights that's going on in.
That's what I'm saying. When Bo fought, I was on the undercard of Bo Buster Mathis.
Okay.
You know, he weighed in. We fought Saturday. I think we weighed in Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday or Friday. Let me see. We weighed in. No, we weighed in Friday for Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
And but they weighed in first.
They might
They
have
went down. They
okay.
went. They started from the top of
And
the
work
card,
their way down.
the headline to the bottom.
I got it. Yes,
You
sir.
know.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Ray said he got there, then he said, man, he got in the ring, he turned and looked at Tommy, and Tommy looking at him like this, with them puppy eyes, like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. And he said his face was all like, he was full. He was like, oh, he did some bull. This dude fully healthy now. That's some bull.
Man. Side
Yeah,
B.
but,
So give me your number. Go back to you, Crumb. You already
Three.
said your number 3 was
Ray Leonard.
Ray Leonard. All right, brother JR, your number 3.
Willie Pep,
Willie Pep was a bad boy too, man. That's
239. Oh crap. 239 wins, 17 losses, 37 by knockout. The best fighter Carmen Basilio said he ever saw move around the ring. The same guy who couldn't touch him. And back then there was an old saying, and I live by this saying with my defense. If I get hit in the ears, I'm doing the right thing. If my ears feel red, I'm doing the right thing. You know, because some guys, they slip the punch and they do it from here.
Yeah.
I always slip it from here, so that way the guy don't think, hey, yo, he's slipping early. So let me feint him, give him a throwaway break. As soon as he slipped this way, come back, I'm dropping the hook on him.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And he was so at the top. Got into an airplane crash, comes back, tells the press there, hey, y'all want to bet something? He's like, what? All right, I bet you that I'm winning the first round without throwing a punch.
And he did.
And he even spun around, the guy went under the guy's leg. I thought it wasn't true. Then Harold Lehrman said he was at the fight. Harold Lehrman said, man, he went under his legs at one point in the round. And then tapped him. And it's like, come on, keep on going. Spun him around and everything. And this is a guy who fought Ray Robinson, quiet as it's kept, in the amateurs.
They did.
And tells a funny story about how, you know, my manager was the toughest guy in the room that night. he's like, you know, and Willie Pep fought everybody. Even when he was, the airplane accident took a lot more out of him than people fully realized at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he dug deep against Sandy Sadler, who was a murderous puncher of all time. One of the most murderous punchers of all time. I don't care who you put up there. You go look at this. People who are watching this, you probably don't know who Sandy Saddle is. If you go look at a picture of this guy, you're gonna say, "Wait, this dude," and then you're gonna look at his box rack, and you're gonna see how many dudes stretched them. And back then, so you can understand the significance of putting somebody out back then. The referee didn't stop the fight back then. The fighter stopped the fight. You gave him a reason to stop. And back then, you could be out cold. They still counting the 10. And so he had wars with Sandy Saddler. They were roughhousing. They got really dirty in them fights, and he had to dig deep. And to a point where he said a joke in the dressing room. For people who don't know, it wasn't a big press conference. The press conference was in the dressing room. Once he showered up, he'll get it. They put their suits on, and they'll let the press into their dressing room. And he said, "Hey, you gonna fight Sandy one more time?" Back then, it wasn't no 2 fights. It was sometimes 5 fights. And he said, "Do I get a gun?" So Willie Pack is my third.
Great choice, man. Both of y'all had great choices, man. Everybody's. Hey, this is what I say, man. Welcome to the Second Wind Sports Media. We are the home of boxing purists, man. This is the home of boxing purists. Those that know, the scholars of boxing are on the show today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Caesar's on you, brother.
No boy. She called. I say, who on the show today? Said JR. I said, damn. My list gonna be some shit.
You gotta clip that and send that to me. You gotta clip that and send that to me.
Listen, damn, my list gonna be some shit. Number 3 for me, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Okay. This man, this where you got to start for me. I start getting into semantics and Oscar, but Oscar, the way he came in fighting everybody from the door. Just running the gambit out the gate. So I can't take much away from him, So he number 3 on my list. Easy.
All right, brother Daoud, who you got?
Bernard Hopkins, undisputed.
Yeah, I was thinking Bernard too.
160. He fought at one weight because he was disciplined for a long time and dominated his division for many, many years. Then turned around, even at an older age, and still went up and beat good fighters like he beat one of Roy Jones out.
No,
what's his name? Tava. He beat Tava.
Tava. He kept Trinidad.
Some people thought he beat Roy at RFK.
Yeah, I was down there that day. I was there that day live. I was working.
He ended up getting him later, but he beat him that day too, I think too.
What's the name? We forgetting the name that Bernard beat. And it ain't even Trinidad. Segundo Mercado.
Yeah.
Remember Segundo Mercado? Segundo Mercado was getting looked at like Matias is right now at that time.
Yeah.
And he hurt Bernard. He hurt him, like really putting down. And Bernard had to dig deep. And then he fought him again and ruined Segundo Mercado.
Yeah. Bernard Hawk was a throwback.
Yeah,
he was on that penitentiary and spawn for fights. He'd go to penitentiary and be spawned to get ready for fights. He'll hit the penitentiary and go down there. It kind of reminded me of the A's in DC.
Yeah.
I got a chance to go to fight down Lawton, like the rest of the guys, like Mark and all of them.
Yeah, said he did too.
But I went down to Oak Hill with the guys. I didn't get a match that day, but B Scott, all of them guys got some fight down there at Oak Hill, and there was some great fights, man, at Oak Hill. I see B Scott and all of them punish them guys down there at Oak Hill.
Yeah. I never went to Oak Hill. Mine was Lawton, behind the wall, and Aquan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I was the only amateur going down there with the pros. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And them guys were pros down there, man. Them guys will hurt you, man.
Yeah, no, I'm talking
That's
about
what I was
I
told.
was only amateur from the area getting on the bus, going down there with Jamal, Lennox Lewis,
Yeah.
Thomas Wynn. You know, I can man. That's when you get your work. That's when you know if you gonna box or you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
They
The
go
Lord,
down there
but
to
the
the
one,
Lord.
but the one that's gonna really tell it is Jessup, the old Jessup.
Just okay.
You know, and I said the difference here at Lawton. It was like you're in the gym, and you know the half court. That's where the ring was. The inmates would be all to the side in the bleachers.
Yeah.
So you know you didn't really have to worry about no. It's the guys in the corner and us.
Yeah.
We go up the Jessup, the guards up in the towers up in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and the inmates hitting the ring.
Oh,
Knock
yeah.
him out and don't let and oh man, hitting poured out a tube of Vaseline. And back then, that's when the inmates had money. Or man, them guys had to come down there and take the tube of Vaseline from him because he was great cause of a riot in there. Don't get man, them guys was trying to outbid each other. They was trying to do all they could to get that Vaseline.
Oh, wow.
You know, he used to carry the big tube, not the real big one, but the square one about this side.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up using one. He had to use a little lipstick type Vaseline to put on us. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had stories about them jailhouse business, man.
That's crazy.
But that's where I first saw Rick Rivers.
Okay.
You know, who wound up being one of the ones that was giving Ray the business when he was getting ready for Hagler.
Yeah.
Right. So you know they Lawton had some guys that were so good they took him to the Olympic trial.
They
Straight
did.
out of Lawton.
72 and 76.
Mhm.
I'm with I work where I work at. I'm an Anacostia the Pathways coordinator.
Mhm.
On Tuesday, I have an ex-offender program. And one of the guys there, Dukes, who wound up working with Ray, they had that stuff there. And you know, Tuesday, he was just telling me about it. How the U.S. Olympic team came down to Lawton and worked with the guys
Mhm.
in 72 and in 76.
That's right.
You know, so I was like,
Man, this boxing thing is it's a fraternity thing. You know,
yeah.
it was magic to walk through that tunnel. I never got a chance to fight pro. That was probably my I at least wanted to fight one pro fight. But to walk down that tunnel, you know, the Golden Glove and Hillcrest, and thinking about walking down there, all the great fighters had before us had walked through those tunnels.
Yeah.
Mark
And
Johnson,
who worked your corner?
and all many more.
Yeah.
John Bay and them nights we fight, certain nights there will be the cars parked all the way to the DC line, all the way down.
Yeah. So the night Man and I fought. It was like that.
Yeah.
When he got me the first time. I only had 3 fights.
Yeah.
I only had my 3rd fight championship. I win. I go to the Olympic trial.
Right.
And he did what he was supposed to, you know.
But
Yeah,
you,
I remember watching a lot of your fights.
you got him back though, man. I remember that joint, man. You got him.
But you know, I got him back in the ABF.
Yeah, I remember that joint.
Yeah, when I got him back, I made him do a Roberto Duran. No minds. He told Sam, get me the hell out of here.
But you know what's crazy?
Real quick, I just want to say, is it true that it would be so much more? Like, okay, my experience at Rosecroft, like, is the closest for me, where like it would be so packed, and even some of my sparring sessions where it's like, dude, they come up to you getting your hands right, man. They bet money out there. I'm like, what? They say on me? They're like,
Rosecroft is good.
The night I lost
tell you
to
something.
man,
Hillcrest was the Mecca.
Rosecroft was
The Mecca of
when you
boxing.
go to Rosecroft, you get sad if you ever saw Hillcrest.
Yeah.
It's a sad feeling. That's how the difference is.
Yeah.
Rosecroft was Hillcrest was so electrifying.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I fought in many national places. Ain't nothing compared to Hillcrest. No way.
Nothing.
I mean,
And
we
the stuff that went on in Hillcrest.
and the stuff that went. I mean, you talk about people. It's jam packed. Like you could move.
It's
in
the
this place.
Coliseum.
Right. The week before I fought Man for the championship up at Hillcrest, I fought Muhammad Duclay. I beat, Muhammad was the big dude in welterweight.
Right.
I came out of nowhere. I beat him.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
On the video, if I could find the videotape, on the videotape, you hear guys betting their cars. My dad videotape.
What?
They were betting their cars.
They do that.
That Muhammad was going to beat me. Some people's like, nah, that dude Crumb, man, he out of Ray Leonard. You can hear him on the video.
That's real.
Dave Jacobs worked that corner, so I felt like a king that night. Like this man worked with Sugar Ray Leonard, Roger Leonard, Claude Boga, Juice, and I got hit in the corner. I felt like a Superman when I beat Muhammad. You heard the guys giving them car keys and the papers on video. Give me the car keys to your cars.
Hillcrest was a special place.
It was the Mecca of boxing.
It was the Mecca of DC boxing for sure. The place, far as the tournaments go, that Golden Gloves. When I tell people I don't really like going to the Golden Gloves no more because I got spoiled as a kid.
Same feel.
See this thing at this place. When you went to the Golden Gloves and you fought in it, oh my God, I'm still getting chills, especially when you turn open and you fighting in the evening when the joint jam packed.
Nighttime.
And everybody knows that.
We fought at night.
You got the street dudes there. You got
nighttime to open for that night. So all the other people novice, but
and the junior day for the day.
It started getting.
But you got to remember, at one time, even in the Golden Gloves at Hillcrest, you had some of the novice fighters, and one I can tell you offhand.
Yeah,
Boo J, because I'm as open. Boo J,
I remember Boo J too.
Boo J was bringing like a.
He's bringing about 50 or 100 people too. Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Boo J and what's his name? Purcell Miller.
Yes, indeed.
Hard Rock. I trained with Hard Rock.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, because they were behind me.
That's my old
me and Boo J eventually fought. But
that's my stablemate. We should spar. We should spar.
Y'all remember when that guy Man Newton?
Oh yeah, that's one of my stablemates too.
From me,
what's his name? Bay Newton.
Dude used to bring about 200 dudes from uptown, man, from 14th Street uptown. This how they came though. This how these dudes came. They would come 200 deep.
When me and Man fought the first time. Man, it seemed like he bought every dude.
He bought the whole
Southeast. He bought the
Like, if I beat him, will turn into a brawl when we get out of here. Because I've been in this situation, right? Where it's like, all right, we might have to fight when I win this thing, and we might have to fight to get up out this joint.
I've been in
this situation. How can y'all remember?
It's always love, though.
I ran and jumped over the ropes. When I fought James Bacon in the championship, I made it.
Oh, you fought Uncle Ho? Oh,
it's on tape. I gotta give him the juice. We went 12 rounds non-stop in the middle of the ring, banging. Yeah, 3 rounds straight banging. I jumped over the ropes. Everybody was looking at me like, "What the hell?" I just ran and just jumped over the ropes, over the last rope, and everybody was like, "Man, they about to get in it now."
I remember that joint. I remember it.
I was like, I surprised myself when I did
that. Was just talking about y'all fight on when I interviewed.
That's my man right there, man.
Who remember these days? Who remember these days at Hillcrest? I got, and they don't know you from Adam. I got $100 over there in the blue.
That's how they was doing.
I got 200 over here in the red. Don't know you from Adam.
From Adam.
When you win, when you leave, they put a little something in your pocket.
That's right. But the greatest thing about Hillcrest, a lot of great fighters came before us walked down those tunnels.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Sugar Ray Leonard, Sean Baby Mitchell,
yes, indeed.
Johnson, Sean Baby fighting, everybody betting. All them guys walked through. Man, we had
under that tunnel.
The brothers. Yeah. We got all of those great fighters came before us. If you share that ring, that stadium, that was history made. You ain't done nothing if you didn't walk through those tunnels.
That's a fact.
And you paid your price in there.
That place,
crying, some people went home with their hand raised in the air as a champion.
Yeah.
But if you put your dues in there, and I respect any brother that put on a pair of boots and gloves and walk
Yes,
through that
indeed.
tunnel,
Yes,
Mhm.
indeed.
because we put our life on the line.
Man.
Heart beating through your chest.
And we
Yes,
say,
indeed.
"Look, man,
You know, guys talk about Sean. See, I knew of Sean Bay from skating at Crystal Skate because Sean Bay can skate. I can skate.
Okay.
Sean Bay can skate.
Okay.
You know, we used to have a skate team. And I used to always be like, who is this dude that's got a rack of dudes with him? They ain't skating. But it's just a rack of dudes. And it was like, man, hey, Crum, you and that karate stuff, you ain't never heard nobody name this dude named Sean Bay. They call him, I think, Bay. It sounds like, I don't know. They was like, man, we're going to take it. So we went to IHOP one Saturday.
okay."
And they was like, nah, the way we went up 23rd Parkway, we couldn't even get up 23rd Parkway going up to the light because so much track, you know, cars was parked
Yeah.
all up the
That's right.
curb, one on the
Man, it's
curb.
hard to get through that joint, man.
And they say Sean Bay, that was the night, Sean Bay, and I want to say Thompson, Keely.
Keely Thompson.
Yeah, both of them
Keely
had went to
Thompson.
war.
That's right.
Yeah, the day when it was that Saturday night. I was like, man, and you know, I had no idea. You know, a few years later, I was going to get into it, but I was like, man,
You was paying it right then. You was looking at it then, and the people was coming into it. They fought as a pro too. Keely Thompson and Sean Bay as a pro too.
Right. If you never saw Hillcrest, a fight at Hillcrest, try to pull up a fight at the Blue Horizon.
That's how it was. Same.
It was
In Philly.
Blue
Yeah.
Horizon was more like WUST.
Yes, indeed.
But Blue Horizon always reminded was the Blue Horizon. I know it was Horizon.
Yeah.
Blue Horizon.
Yeah, Blue Horizon in Philly.
Philadelphia.
USA Boston, Tuesday night fights.
Yeah, Blue Horizon was similar to that, but where they had space in the audience, that was a body right there.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you sitting there. It wasn't.
Now,
It wasn't none of that. You gonna get up and move around. You gonna sit down, stand
right.
up, sit down, stand up.
That's right.
You ain't going to your left. You ain't going to your right.
You
Your
stuck.
dodge should not gonna turn.
Yeah.
You might get in a fight on the outside of the ring.
like this. You know, 'cause it
Rashid,
was
we
just
need
so
we
close.
need to do something, Rashid. One day is bring all the old new fighters all together, have like an event somewhere where all of us can do something. Have an event sometime. Probably it's like July or something when it get real hot or something, and have some. Maybe we could do that something down Anacostia or somewhere. Pull something together, man, and bring everybody together one time. You know, in the DMV area.
most definitely, man. I'm with it, brother. I might put a party or something together for a boxing reunion or something like that.
Yeah, Boston Union, Boston Fraternity Brothers. You know,
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
put it on the Facebook and all the stuff, and you know, have everybody come out, even the ones that for Maryland, DC, and Virginia that participated in the tournaments and stuff like that. Come down and do it real nice, so everybody can, from the old school to the new school fighters, champions, contenders, and everything, and come down and we do the Anacostia. We could be skating
Most
too.
definitely.
Skating.
Let's do that. Let's do it.
Yeah, because one thing I don't like with the boxing, like in the DMV, you were a champion. I don't care if you were the world champion. Your belt
That's right.
said
That's
world
right.
champion,
That's right.
USA champion.
That's right.
You were, you know, because you know, I love Joppy like a brother. I trained with Keith Holmes. I trained with Sean Bay. You know, they get a lot of credit for being world champions. But you got to remember, Daryl Coley had a belt.
Yeah.
Reggie Green had a belt.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Sonny Speed had a belt.
The
Yes,
punching post
I
man.
want to say Daryl Lattimore had a belt.
Y'all man right there, the punching post man.
Sonny Speed. You know,
he was like
Curtis
that,
Peoples.
Curtis
You know, people say what they want when they talk about welterweight. You got to remember, Curtis Peoples had a belt. So, you know, that's the only thing I kind of frown on when guys say world champions. Just say champions because I look at it like you're slighting somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when they know what that 3 minutes can feel like.
I feel all y'all champions. Everybody was a champion that participated in it, man. In a way,
Y'all,
I love it.
I want to show y'all this right fast, right? We just talked about Hillcrest. Now, Jay, I'm gonna show you something. How this show you how devastating, how electrifying the Hillcrest Golden Gloves was. I'm gonna let you read this list and tell me all these legends that you see on this one fight card at Hillcrest.
what year is that?
Yes, sir.
That's
I see
19.
Uncle Hove. I see that Mr. Foster Johnson. Oh my God. That's
That's
a ringer.
1981.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's going through the ringer. That's going through the ringer. That's
It's 10.
Vincent Pathway.
Vincent
Oh my
Pathway,
goodness.
Joe King, Jermaine Fields, Anthony
Jermaine
Fields,
Fields, Anthony Fields.
Them little boys back then.
Johnson. Two shops on that list too.
Yeah. That's
James Hurst, the brother of
yeah.
my shop who won many nationals too. Go down to the bottom part and see them names you see down there on that bottom list. Percy Hurst, a champion.
Mr. Blocker.
Maurice Blocker, Simon Brown.
Mr. Thin Man.
All these guys is on this list. This is Hillcrest boxing I'm talking about. Look at all them. Look at them legends that's on that list. And we've missing a few names. It's a lot of top dogs on this one fight card right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just one weekend.
That's one weekend, right? That's one day right there fighting, man.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We gotta finish the last two. Oh yeah, we gotta finish the last two.
We got two left.
So you got it, brother. Whose go is it now?
I think we going to. Did everybody did three?
Yeah, everybody did three. All right, brother, Crumb, give me two.
Can we do 1 and 2 together?
Nah, let's mix them up. Let's mix them up.
2. Everybody, my number 2, majority of the guys wanted to be him, Joe Louis.
Okay, good choice. Hell of a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Louis was bad.
A lot of guys wanted to emulate after him.
They do. Yeah.
That's why I said 1 and 2, because my 1, everybody wanted to be my number 1.
I got you. We definitely gonna go into that next, man. Brother JR, your number 2.
Archie Moore.
Hold up.
Man, Archie Moore makes sense.
Because this is a guy who rode train cars to get to the next city, sometimes to get to fights, wouldn't get fights sometimes, had issue. He at one point, because some of the fights he did get on were mafia cars with Frankie Carbo, they thought he was with Frankie Carbo, but he wasn't. And he admitted, he said, shoot, I would have went with them guys if they would have got me some fights. That's how bad this guy, wanted it. I mean, over 200 wins. I think he has 156 knockouts, something like that.
Yeah.
To continue to fight into older age. And when he got his title shot, he had to take. I think the other fighter got 200. I think the other fighter got 200,000, and he got 7,000 or something like that. And by the time he was done paying everybody, he walked away with $700.
Wow.
Yeah.
And some of these numbers are a little rough because so I'm sorry for disrespecting the story, but pretty much that was what was going on. And when they wanted to grab him and lift him in the air, he hit everybody. No, don't pick me up. Y'all know I should have been won this thing.
Right.
Just raise my hand. Let me take my lap around the ring, and I'm going home. That's the type of man he was dealing with. And he went on to then have probably, out of all the great nights he had, he fought Charlie Burley. And he said, and Charlie Burley licked him. He said, man, I've never been hit harder than Charlie Burley. And then you got to think back at this time. This is Black Murderers Row. If anyone knows who Black Murderers Row is, I always say the example for people who don't know what Black Murderers Row is. If you think Floyd is your TBE and he could have beat Ray Robinson when Ray Robinson was at his best at 47, go look at Black Murderers Row. Go look at the guys that Ray Robinson ducked and see could Floyd have beat them. Murderous Ray. Oh my gosh. It's that whole list of guys that had to fight each other because no one else will fight them.
Yeah, they fought each other like 2 or 3 times.
Yes, each. Sometimes a month after each other, like a spawn session. And Archie then moves on from Charlie Burley, wins the title, moves up again, and he fights. And he has his best night. And I cannot believe I'm disrespecting this fight, forgetting his name as much as I've watched this fight. But he goes in there with a much younger kid, gets caught cold early, and he was hurt. Got himself together, got caught again. It's like, all right. You can hear the announcers if you watch the tape. All right, it's time for Archie to probably pack it in. He's getting older, been to too many wars, And then as you get to round 6, tide started to turn. Started to break this kid down and winds up knocking the kid out. The kid was never the same after that fight. Never the same. This is the type of guy that you're talking about here. So I will always respect the Mongoose for that. How he carried himself in and out the ring, what he went through and got to where he got.
Definitely worthy of the list for sure, man. I love Archie Boy. He was one of my great fighters. I loved him. Respect him. He was the one who paved the way for a lot of the guys like Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, and all those guys that go through to be able to do what they do. So you gotta definitely give props to him for sure. Brother C's, your number 2.
Number 2 for me. Gonna piss Mr. Crumb off. But it's Floyd Mayweather for me, man. Number 2.
You're telling your age now, man. Young buck. He still got vitamin C on your breath.
Nah, man. I mean, like I look back at like Ray Robinson and them career, and like I said when we did the like all time the TBE all time greats or whatever. I look back at them times, but it's like I can't really get an appreciation for it when I don't live in that era, when I didn't live in that era. So it's like I can't really gauge the full magnitude of those fights for me. You know what I'm saying?
And see with Floyd, like with like your generation, this generation, the technology, just so huge. Now you got pay-per-view. You ain't got to go to the Capitol Center and all these places that to watch the satellite TV. You get it home, so that helped out a lot too.
Yeah. It helped. It helped, and a lot of brainwashing on the internet, man. But for me, it is Floyd, man. Because I mean, I look at Floyd, and I mean, I'm like, good gosh, you go from what Chico, well, Augustus to Chico to Castillo, even though a lot of people say he lost to Castillo. Then he fought what? Chop, Gotti, Sean Bay, Zab, De La Hoya.
He knocked down when he fought Zab, but they when his glove touched.
We're talking resumes. He fought him, De La Hoya, Hatton, all these fights and he ain't come out on top, even though I think a younger Sugar Shane would have got him. That's my man. But Kogo, even
I ain't gonna go that
far. I'm Sugar Shane, my favorite fighter, him and Winky. So
I didn't like Shane because he had that sugar in front of him. And he was no Ray Robinson or Ray Leonard.
And even to go into the next generation and fight Canelo, and to come out unscathed, he gotta be on my list, and he landed at number 2 on mine. So it's Floyd.
Okay.
All right, brother Dawu.
We got Mike McCullen.
Okay.
Oh,
Body snatcher.
Body snatcher.
Hey, boy, there.
Man, he
Johnny.
dismantled Julian Jackson, and he beat a couple more great fighters.
I just saw that fight early today for some reason. It's on Facebook. Somebody put it on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, man. Yes, indeed.
Mike
Yeah,
McCullen.
it wasn't DMV boxing, but something. It was on Facebook today. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, that's a hell of a pick, man. Well, my number 2 is no other than the greatest fighter of all times, Sugar Ray Robinson, man.
Absolutely.
Give it to
I
Sugar
can't
Ray
argue.
Robinson because the simple fact that Ray Robinson
1,000 people.
fought everybody.
He fought me.
I'm fighting you. Okay, you the number 1 ranked fighter. I'm fighting you. He didn't duck nobody, man. I think he's worthy of being in the top 3 of anything. Of, what I'm saying, most people's list, just because Ray Robinson was that man. Now, I do say this. I agree with C's on this factor about him. That's why he didn't make number 1. Is some of the guys we don't know, so we can't.
what?
Really, what I mean by that is, not that
He put the same guy under a different name a bunch of times.
Mhm.
I want to what's the name of the tie with me too as well. I want to say is my number 1. He was smaller weight. We already had Mark Johnson. Ricardo Lopez.
Oh, nasty.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
You said
indeed.
number 1?
No.
We're going to number 1 now.
No.
Oh, okay.
So here we go, ladies and
Shake
gentlemen.
out, Mr. Crumb. Shake out.
Here we go. Mr. Crumb's about to give his greatest all-time boxing resume. And that is who? Brother Crumb.
I switched it up. I'm not going to go with the one. I'm going with this and shock everybody. Larry Holmes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Why you pick Larry Holmes? Now we got to answer this question though. Now everybody, we got to answer why he's our number 1.
He fought everybody, and with ruin Larry, he gave the best speech in the world. And at the same time, he gave the worst speech in the world.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And he held the title for
Marco
7 years.
Marciano cannot carry my jockstrap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He carried the
When
heavyweight
he
title for
first speak,
7
when he
years.
said that like
They were going to rob him. Call it what it is. They were going to rob him.
he wasn't going to win. When he said, that's what I say, he gave the best speech in the world.
He should have said it though.
No, but he said it at the end though. He said at the
If
end.
that
They didn't have to
man
say it.
anything.
They made him lose. And he held the title for 7 years. He held
but he
title for
fought
7 years.
everybody. I
They
mean,
did.
Yeah.
he did, and I like the way he handled Ali. He didn't really want to fight Ali.
Right.
He didn't want to fight him.
So
Don King forced it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So now that's a good choice, man. I agree with that, man. I love all of y'all answers, man. Y'all came on here and
Let's go.
this is why we got to do this on a regular, man. Brother JR.
Let's go. Let's go.
Your number 1 greatest boxer with the greatest, no, not greatest boxing resume. Your number 1 greatest boxing resume that a fighter had is who?
The greatest fighter of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson. And now I'm going to go deeper into it. Why? Because at that time, it wasn't no 4 belts. It wasn't even 2 belts at the time. Back then, it was the New York State Athletic Commission World Championship. You had to make your way through St. Louis, then you had to go through Chicago, then you had to make it to New York. And if you made it to New York, you was somebody under those lights, even in the amateurs. And you got to take into account 6-ounce gloves. You take into account this is a guy who fought Kid Gavilan, a name that I don't hear mentioned as much as it should be anymore. Did not want to fight his true hero, but had to. Henry Armstrong.
Yeah.
This is a guy who gave me the blueprint to be Golden Boy. Gave Ray Leonard the blueprint to be Sugar Ray Leonard. Like everything. People wonder why Muhammad Ali wore white. Of course, yeah, the story is true about talking to Gorgeous George, the wrestler, and he's like, yeah, wear the white. That part is true. But go look at why Muhammad Ali dressed the way he dressed when he would train. The stuff he would wear. It's all the stuff that Ray wore.
Yep.
All that he wanted. He said, "I'm gonna be the heavyweight Sugar Ray Robinson." He spoke and said, I am the greatest of all time, but before you call me the greatest, you got to say Sugar Ray Robinson, and then you put my name." Which people forget. This man's record was 179 wins, 19 losses, 6 draws, 137 by knockout. This is a guy who wins 41-0, fights Jake LaMotta, who just fought 3 weeks prior or 2 weeks prior, 175, and they streaking him down, kind of like Sean Porter. Remember when Sean Porter was playing football? He was fighting Damo Wade at the Olympic trial, 178. Then he turned pro, at 75. Started streaking him down. Then he made it to where same thing they were doing with LaMotta.
Yep.
Goes in there, knocks Ray out the ring. Ray gets up, finishes it, loses by decision. Oh, I got to see you again in 2 weeks. Oh, we're going to do this again. Oh, yeah, you got to see me. You're going to have to see me. And then back then, it was one belt. That's why I respect my generation, but I will never, I don't care. You could carry it how you want to carry it. See me. I don't care. Like, if anybody in my generation, I was telling them, we could be good, but we would have got killed back then. Some of us would have been able to hold our own. Like my generation, I'm talking about my generation, like the guys from even the guys from the 90s that I saw, they could fight with the guys from back then because they had a certain thing that I saw with my own eyes that my generation don't got. And I'm just sorry, only a fingerful in my generation got. And that's why I always say, like, back then, you had one belt. Guys like Larry Holmes, him, Archie Moore, these guys that when they had one belt, it was dudes knocking at your door, letting you know, like, yeah, I'm coming to see you. I'm gonna see you soon. I just beat Tony DeMark when he fought Kambosos. He got out of his pink Cadillac. Gets out of his pink Cadillac, got his entourage with him, and Carmen Basilio, his wife, loved him. His wife loved Ray. Hey, I'm gonna go say hi to him. Okay, go. Hi, Mr. Ray. I'm Carmen Basilio. I just beat Tony DeMarco 2 weeks ago. Straight up. And then that was the worst thing he could have did because that pissed Carmen Basilio off. He was like, he sat by his wife. He said, "I'm gonna lick that son of a bitch one day. I swear I am." And he even said, like, this is the type of rivalry these guys had. They did it used to be a thing like 10, 15 years ago on ESPN Classic. They did Sweet Pea, they did Sugar Ray Robinson, they did Sugar Ray Leonard, where they talked about their fight. And they brought Carmen Basilio in there. Carmen Basilio, like 88, 89 at the time. He said, "Why are we still talking about this guy? Why are we still talking about the fight? I already said that Willie Pep, in my opinion, is the greatest fighter of all time. Not him. You already know I don't like the son of a bitch. If he was alive and walked through the door right now, I still lick him." You know, this is
how they was.
Everything that Floyd, he could talk all the mess he want. Floyd took stuff from Ray. He took stuff, but he just took it to a high level. He took stuff from, I can see it. If you know boxing, you watch it, and you know the history of it, he took stuff from Ali, he took stuff from Tyson, he took stuff from Ray, and he definitely took stuff from Ray Robinson. Because this dude had a pink Cadillac. Come on now. Goes on. So let's get back to the resume. Loses to LaMotta, fights LaMotta. After that, he goes 88-0. His record then goes to Randy Turpin, and he's at the time 126-1 with like 87 knockouts. And back then he's jumping from 47 to 60. There was no 54, folks. None. And people said as beautiful as he looked in his videos, himself in his videos couldn't even touch himself at 47. That's how great he was. Moves on, loses to Randy Turpin, fights Randy Turpin again, losing again. Randy Turpin was another guy who rocked and turned, and it gave Ray fits. Then he cut Ray. And they said that cut was nasty. It's still paintings of that cut, how you can see through it. And they said, you got one more round, we stopping it. Goes out there, he knows this go to the scorecards, I'm done. And gets rid, and then starches him, gets rid of Randy Turpin. It says, you know what, I'm gonna go up to 75. There's no 168, folks. You gotta gain 15 pounds, and he's gonna go fight Joey Maxim. Joey Maxim was a solid light heavyweight, solid contender. Nothing too flashy, but solid fundamentals, long reach, still dealing with a guy who started at 47. Same stuff we say today. He's beating Joey Maxim, beating him soundly. But it's at the Polo Grounds, and it's already 98 that day, and under the beaming lights, they said it was like 107 or something. And he had blisters on his skin when the fight was over. It was so hot that the referee had to be changed. The referee passed out in the corner. They bring a new referee in, and he's like, don't stop. He's telling them, don't stop it. But then when he comes back to the corner after the next round, he's so delulu. He's not even being hit. It's basically he's having a heat stroke. He's not even, and he's still trying to go back out there. And the bell rings. You see the famous footage of him with his black trunks. He rarely ever wore black trunks, but he's wearing black trunks. He's sliding down the rope trying to get to his corner, and they had to stop it. And Joey Maxim, till this day, says, right to his dying day, Joey Maxim always said, "I beat Ray, but I ain't beat him." He said, I was fighting Sugar, but I mean, I wasn't fighting 107 degree. He was moving around, getting on the inside and out of me. I was staying flat footed. I beat him, but I ain't beat him. Skip past that. He goes down. Let's talk about the LaMotta wars. Like the wars with LaMotta. He fights LaMotta. Them two were made for each other.
Facts.
They were made for each other. And the crazy part was him, and they were made for each other, but also him and Carmen Basilio were made for each other. And the wars that he was in, he took 22 unanswered shots against Carmen Basilio at one point. And then came back. Carmen Basilio said, I got to give it to the guy. He got guts. Because that next round, he kicked the shit out of me. and he fights LaMotta, knows that LaMotta's having trouble, didn't know the psychological part. He knew LaMotta was having trouble making the weight. He started, folks, you got to understand how my father raised me in this sport. He would tell me how guys would watch other guys. If you had a fight coming, even in the amateur, you knew you was fighting somebody. You had friends, you had people. Or if you, it was a pro and he's training in another state. You said, let's see if we can get such and such to be in his camp as a sparring partner. He telling me everything. Or you might just send a guy down there. Yo, just spy on this guy, man. Tell me, he taking the fights. He not taking the fights. He not getting his proper rest. You know everything about the guy. And he had people following Jake. Man, he ain't making the weight, man. He got this, man. He killing himself to make the weight. Oh, for real? Okay, cool. And then, he goes to the press conference and strains this blood out of the steak and drinks. He said, I do this like how you drink beef. You say, I drink this for, it helps me feel stronger. And made Jake LaMotta pass out. He's like, I got him. Gets in there, and he knew that Jake was going to bulldoze him. He knew that Jake is going to be Jake. He's going to bring it. But I'm gonna purposely hold him every chance I get. I'm gonna exchange, and then he will grab him and purposely, when they would separate, watch the tape. He will separate and go right back to the center of the ring. You know how some guys take 2 steps back and they go. No, he will backpedal all the way to the center to make Jake have to start chasing him again. And then it started to catch up to him. And then it turned into what we now know as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The famous scene of Robert De Niro getting hit by a horrible actor of Sugar Ray Robinson, but basically getting crushed in the corner and on the ropes. Moves up, fights Gene Foreman. Gene Foreman beats and like, man, right, he's time to pack it in, man. But he also needed the money. Because now at this point, certain situations is happening with him, just like it's happening with Joe.
Yeah.
And which is a travesty on both sides. But they telling, hey man, you know, you done. You come on, really. His own team is telling him, like, you know, you think you could turn it on anymore, right? You think you able to turn it on? Mm-hmm. You know, you done been in wars with Bobo Olsen. People forget that name, Bobo Olsen. Mm-hmm. You know, he would do something like, you know, he say, hey, Ray, scheduled for 15. I ain't trying to have it be. Is it going to be Bobo? And, you know, he would say something like that. Then the perfect left hook gets thrown as he's getting pushed to the limit by Gene Foreman. People remember who Gene Foreman is. The way I could break it down for you, who Gene Foreman was. If you know who Oscar Bonavena was, that was Gene Foreman. If you knew who, what's a guy I could say from today? Kind of like Ricardo Mayorga, but more fundamentally saying you just knew he was gonna bring it and he was gonna rough you up. Like he was gonna give you a working over if you wasn't in shape. And he knocks out Gene Foreman, not in his weight class, but knocks him out with a hook, with the perfect left hook. With a perfect left hook.
That's right.
Perfect, while going backwards. This is why I say, like, you know what? To the end, I will always say that man holds the gloves. Like, he will always have like that thing, that guy, the one that you would say, oh, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy.
One thing about you, JR, you are a boxing prodigy, man.
Man, I'd say, man, they call what on Boxing Voice, they call Danny the Almanac. I said, JR the library, man.
Listen, the dude, somebody just comment on it, say you need to be writing a book, man. Working on you. That's why I like bringing you on, because you are and brother Crumb and brother Daou. I'm glad that you brothers are on here today.
I'm glad you have it.
This show is fine, man, for real, man. So we gonna move on to brother Daou. We gonna come back to you, JR, because I want you to finish that story. I want you to finish that.
I'm gonna have to share with JR. I'm going with Sugar Ray Robinson.
Okay.
Sugar Ray Robinson had more KOs than some people had fights.
Yes.
They really ambushed him on that heated day. They deliberately done that to set him up so he wouldn't be great. They set him up with that overheat, and he was coming up. So like heavyweight, he was going up the hill. They set him up on that day. And they knew it was a hot day.
Right.
And they picked that day, especially they knew it was going to be scorching. They really set him up. They ambushed him. They didn't want him to be great. They set him up that day. And he was so weak.
I didn't know that.
He was weak. They had set him up. And you look, it was a setup. He was beating them even though he was tired and he was wore out. They drained that man down from that heat, and he had heat exhaustion. That's what really beat him. He didn't lose to him. The heat beat him.
Right.
Yep.
And they did that on purpose, deliberately to do that. But now,
wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, they set him up.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, they set him up big time. They didn't want him to be great. And so Sugar Ray Robinson had a vision that he killed a man in the ring. He told him he did not want to fight him. And he told him it wasn't a dream, it was a premonition. A premonition is different from a dream. It's almost like you already been through it and you've done it. So he actually had a premonition that he killed a man, and he said I
Yeah.
didn't want to fight him. And it went the same way that the premonition went, and he killed him the same way that he explained to him that
Yeah,
how
yeah.
Yep. Left hook.
that left hook was like a bat, and they get hit by Sugar Ray Robinson with that left hook. It's almost like somebody shooting a needle or something into you, just sucking the life out of you. You know, back in the day, what's his name had a devastating right hook. Um, what's his name? Jermaine Field. I see him hit people hard, and he's a. I see him hit somebody like Rudy Wamby and spin him around like a cartoon character. He was spinning around, boom. When he with you with that right hook, it's almost like that. It spit venom in you. That's how Sugar Ray Robinson had that left hook that would spit venom in you. When you get hit, it's almost like your whole inside is crumbling. And he had more championships, knockout. He had more knockouts than people had fights. And I think he was probably only 11 fights he lost versus what 235 or
179 wins. 179 wins.
19, right?
19 losses.
mhm,
7 draws. 113 by knockout. I want to say.
mhm. And you know you got to give it to him. You know Ali loved to be around him, hang around him. He used to like to talk to him, and
He was the
so
man.
yeah, he was the man. I gotta give it to Sugar Ray Robinson. It's quite a few, but we'll do something on another day.
Yeah,
That's my number one pick right there. I know it's getting late now.
yeah. I'm gonna make one where it'll be a 10. Where we're gonna do 10 different ones. I'm gonna have different ones for y'all. So,
Okay.
but my number one is gonna shock y'all though, man. Might not.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I ain't get
Michael Nunn. Oh man. Oh, my fault.
My my number one pick, Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah. Yeah, you really shocked me, man.
Oscar.
Wait till you hear man.
Speak up right now. We gotta hear this. What
I'm
happened?
gonna tell you why, man. I remember Oscars coming out the gate. See, most pros when they come in the pro game, they all fight 20 ducks before they get there. Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar came in the gate fighting quality, top-rated fighters.
Okay.
And if you do a check on Oscar's resume,
Okay.
Ike Cortez,
Bernard Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins, Fernando Vargas, Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather,
Obakar.
Obakar. I guarantee you,
Obakar,
De La Hoya probably
Fernando Vargas.
beat the hell out of him.
He beat the mess out of Fernando
Beat the
Vargas.
hell out of him. Pernell Whitaker. That was a close fight. I thought Pernell won that fight.
Yeah, I thought Sweet Pea beat him.
Me too.
He fought Julio Cesar Chavez, beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Camacho.
Hector
Old
Camacho.
Chavez. He beat an old Chavez.
He beat the old Chavez. I agree with that. I think he would have got him personally. But you're right. An old Chavez he did. I'm not going to take that. Sugar Shane Mosley. The list goes on. I mean, even Jeff Mayweather. I mean, even though Jeff wasn't really like
Yeah, he
Mayweather.
was like his nephew.
But from the break, Oscar had to fight all veterans and all the way down.
Doug Coley.
Didn't he fight Corey Spinks?
He fought Doug Coley.
He fight Corey Speaks,
Yeah,
but
he fought Mr. Darrell. I was in that camp.
Coley for Daryl
Yeah.
Coley. Yes, indeed. Who else? It's some more names. He beat and for he had a quality.
Steve Forbes.
Yes, indeed. A quality career. That's what I'm saying. His career from start to finish was challenging.
He ain't
Now,
done nobody.
We talked about Ray. Ray had that same thing where 50-50 fights too.
50-50, yeah.
50 from the jump.
Yeah, you're right. When you look at it like that, the way you explain, he never ducked nobody. He
Never
went out
ducked
there
nothing.
ducked
And
nobody.
if you was to go in there and go in his box right now, he probably got more Hall of Famers in this thing than most fighters to.
He will. He will.
I mean, he probably got quality Hall of Famers in one less a fighter than most fighters.
You know, a lot of people think that because you lose, that you didn't really do it. In that undefeated era.
I hate that.
Doing that because it's you stepping your competition out. And that's why I do like Haney, because he do want to fight the best.
I gotta
give it. These people crying and he's this and he's that. He go after he went to Australia twice. He did
with a bad contract.
He took a pay cut
just to be
great.
Glory.
Just to be great. So you know, people down to him, man. A lot of people wouldn't did it that way. Shakur Stevenson turned down that. He could have. It was 25%. If he wanted it, I would have took 25% to be undisputed.
Yeah.
You know, because Floyd took 70-30 for De La Hoya to be great.
And
come on, Mr. Justice.
30%. He gave 30 split, and he gave De La Hoya 70. He said, if I win, I'm going to be on the A side.
There you go. My generation don't think like that, Mr. Justice.
You know,
it's sorry, you just don't.
Yeah, they don't want to make that sacrifice. Everybody's a diva now.
Yeah.
But boxing is really, it's not that great like it used to be, because there's a lot of great fighters out there right now that's not even looked upon and not even showcased.
Yeah.
A lot of people about to watch out for the Gary Russell little brother at 140.
Title fight coming up.
Got
a title fight coming up.
He got a title fight. I seen him.
Yes, indeed.
What is it? What is it? Interim or what?
I talked to Big Gary. He told me he was going. I interviewed him yesterday. Wednesday. He said his brother fighting for a title.
Yeah, but we only got 4 titles at 140. We got Cruz.
You know how they do, man. You know how they do, y'all.
Got Super and all that.
Yes, indeed, man.
Super interim.
Cruz, Haney.
I'm saying, hey, I wouldn't be passing to go to 35. It's a couple vacants at 35.
Remember Javante Davis?
He ain't making 35.
At 140, he'll beat any of those champions. He'll beat any of those champions.
Yeah, he would.
At 140 right now, he would dog any one of them. And it's a possibility he could be undisputed too.
Gary Russell, Gary,
Tweezy.
He could be undisputed. He could be undisputed at 140.
Yeah, he's smoking boots at 40.
Yeah.
But I wanted to add on to this for Mr. Justice. Okay, you gotta understand that my generation, Floyd kind of messed that up because people
scared of him.
Yeah, and the thing is, it took Mr. Rashid to pull me to the side about my dad. Like, literally, there's footage. Bank was recording, and I'm having a private conversation with Mr. Rashid, and he said, your father was a bad boy. Yeah, a lot more hard than he should have. I was like, he said, yeah, man. He's like, he didn't care. He was like, man, like, you just fight. Like, all right, yeah, I'll take him. I'll take him too. Oh, you too. And that's why I was saying a couple weeks ago, Mr. Going about Chavez. Chavez had a belt at one point. And even though he couldn't defend his belt against some of the guys who was calling him out because they wasn't in the top 15, he's like, oh, all right, I'll see you in 2 months. I'll see you. Mm-hmm. Like, you wanted to? All right, I see you too. Oh, you wanted to? All right, cool. They're not going to let me defend. They ain't going to sanction it. They're not going to let me defend the belt. But I see you. I see you too. Who else won it? You wanted to? Oh, okay.
Doing that.
It ain't just Floyd. It's these casual fans too. These fans laugh at you when you lose. Look how that dog Haney out for trying bum and you're a bum and all of that. I mean, good gracious, the man went out here and laid on the shield. How you
on his shield?
Lost. And you call the man a bum. The fans just as blue as they just as dumb as anything else. Anything.
And forgiveness, you got to add this part. Not only did he go out on the shield, But let's really talk like, for people, for these casuals who don't know, the fighters really, he ain't make a silent agreement. As a casual fan, what a silent agreement is. He ain't going there. He was hurt. I mean, this boy was hurt. Every time he got hurt worse and worse and worse, and it took him longer to recover. And he stayed in there. This boy eyes rolling to the back of his head. He stayed in there. He didn't make no silent agreement. For casual fans who don't know, and for fans who are on who don't know, silent agreement.
I'm just trying to
survive.
survive.
You trying to survive, and you start soft tapping the guy, making a silent agreement with him that if you don't hurt me, I'll hold on, type of thing.
But I thought his father
didn't do that.
His father should have threw the towel window.
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
He really could be damaged from this next fight he got. He can really lose from this other guy, his contender, his mandatory.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah.
could beat him because he could be shot. He should have threw the towel in, man.
True
And
statement.
sometimes that's why fathers as your trainer it could be a
problem.
curse.
It could be both.
Come on, Ms. Jessica, you already know this. What did I say like a couple weeks ago when we was talking about the spawn session footage that came out? He told Aiden, I ain't stopping nothing. Well, I don't care you. I mean, man, I got money on the line. You worried about the money you got on the line. You don't know what that 3 minutes feel like. Your kid getting hit in there. You don't know what it feel like to have that cup sticking to you and all that heat in there. No, you don't know what it feel like.
No.
And that could be the deciding factor with most of. That's why it's important that you get somebody that's been hit before and boxing. Tell you what to do.
I was getting ready to say, well, what do you think about these trainers, so-called trainers, who never boxed before, got
I hate it.
and world champions, and now these guys walking around pretty much punch drunk?
Yeah,
there's a few that became great. Dundee never fought before. I heard. It's a few of them could do it, but
the key is always have somebody in your camp that always have somebody. If you do get a trainer that's known for this, and not known for being a fighter or somebody, like you always gotta have some expert with him.
That's why I got to give Ernesto credit. He went and got Adrian Davis when prepared for a fight for what's his name, Hurd.
Yeah.
He went and got Adrian Davis to come in and assist
help
him.
and give him extra. Yeah,
that's bravery right there. That's great on his part. He knew, let me go get a veteran trainer to help me, and he went and got Adrian Davis to help him on a camp for a title fight. I think it for Law. He went and got Adrian.
Ain't never nothing wrong with an extra pair of eyes.
Yeah, you need sometimes you need if you haven't been in that depths of water, it's nothing wrong with getting somebody to help you.
At all.
It's not that's easy.
Look at Gordo. Look at Gordo. Gordo had of course his father with his mouth too. And yet he had a great pair of eyes in this corner and nobody really gave the biggest props to. Joey Gamache, former world champion, really good fighter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people remember him for the wrong reason because of the Gaddy fight. When people they don't know that how really good he was. Like he just was in there with Gaddy who was really, really rehydrated and you just couldn't take the shot. So.
That's right.
But Joey Gamache was the benefactor for that Loma fight, for a lot of fights that I didn't even know Joey Gamache was in his corner. And what does T.O. Sr. do? Doesn't have Joey Gamache in his corner no more.
I'm about to say, shoot, didn't have Joel Judah in his corner?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very close.
When Zab fought Mayweather, a lot of people don't know Zab had actually trained with Panama Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, Panama Lewis is the guy who is banned from boxing. He could never step in the arena.
Right.
But he was on the phone calling, and you go back, you look at Panama Lewis, he's a heck of a trainer. Although he was banned from boxing, he was in Duran's corner when he beat Raider first.
Yeah, when he made his comeback and beat oh my God, Davey Boy.
Yeah,
Davey. Oh, yeah, Davey Moore.
yeah. So Paramount Lewis, is one of those kind of guys. Because I try to tell, that was one of the conversations that I had with her. Like I said, Nessa lived 4 houses down from me, so we talk here and there.
Oh, that's what's up. Man. That's what's up.
And I remember I mentioned to him about Adrian or Pepe or somebody like that coming in, coming in the camp. And he was like, already on it. He was in his truck, already on it. So I was like, all right, cool, But, these trainers, I would say in this area who have never fought. I've gone to gyms and I see people just walk in off the street and start coaching guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where it get dangerous, right?
You know what it is? You know what it is, Mr. Chrome? And I'll just sum it up with this so we can move on. Everybody, what I learned the hard way is everybody want to be a fighter, but nobody want to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's up to you, man. It's down to you. You're number one.
Take us home.
Oh man, I'm gonna get cussed out. It's like, nah, my number one for me is Manny Pacquiao, man.
I can respect
You're
that.
telling your age.
I'm gonna say no tomatoes, no tomatoes.
I'm joking.
Nah, it's Manny, man. It's just coming up from 106 and clearing weight classes all the way up. And then once you get to fighting 2 trilogies, what Morales and Marquez,
And then 2 with Barrera.
and then fighting 2 with Barrera, and then in between those fights you fight De La Hoya, Cotto, Margarito, right after he got caught, but he was still spooky because you ain't know if it was real or not. You know what I mean? Then you fight Shane, Bradley, Rios, like he's fighting them dogs even all the way up through 47. You know what I mean? So for me, it's Manny, man. He fought everybody all the way up and pretty much in every weight class.
I got a fight for you with Manny at 106, Vegas, Saturday night. Mark Johnson versus Pacquiao at 106.
Same way would have went with Mr. Too Sharp fighting Johnny Tapia. I ain't got it going, man. You're gonna be throwing too many punches, but as the fight goes on, too many punches from Mr. Too Sharp. Early on, Mr. Too Sharp gonna give him a lot of tricks and everything, and then it's gonna start getting a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Too Sharp might be slick for him at 106.
Slick for Manny, man. Manny would have been frustrated.
Yeah, he too slick. Yeah. All that bouncing around. Mark would have caught him
midair.
He'd have killed him with some feints, and then Mark do his little movement.
Do that little jump when he do it up, and then walk over here and pull off.
Too Sharp can crack. I remember.
Yeah.
We sparred him as an amateur. I think we was getting ready for the Indiana Black Expo. And I'm sparring Mark. It was the first time I ever sparred him. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, man, I'm gonna hurt this little dude, because I didn't know who Mark was.
Right.
I'm like, man, I'm 150 pounds, 155, going on a foot. I'm gonna hurt this little dude. Man, he hit me with a right hook. And I tell you, did you ever watch the cartoon when it like highlight when the man, when the cartoon character body start vibrating? He hit me with a right hook, and it was like I felt my body just vibrate.
Damn.
I was like, hold up, this dude. Speed bring power. But I was like, hold on, I ain't never been hit like that. Where my body just felt like I felt it vibrating.
Like cook. God.
Brothers, it was an honor and a pleasure to have y'all come through and bless the
All right,
show,
thank you
man.
all.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Rashid.
We almost broke the record again for 3 hours. We went 2.5.4. So we gonna keep doing this, man.
Sorry, Mr.
Yeah,
Cheese.
hey, get that
Nah, it's all good, man.
meet and greet thing
We
going
love
on.
you, man.
Love to
Try
talk.
sometime in August, that meet and greet.
I'm gonna work on it, brother, for sure.
And that will help you too.
Oh, what we do is, man, we can put a cabaret together. I bring EU. You know, I'm a promoter too, so this is easy work for me. I can
Easy
get
work.
EU or Essence or whoever. We have a boxing reunion, all-star reunion. There you go.
Hey,
DMV.
we might want to hold on because you know that the go-go bring all these criminal activities out
Nah,
there.
not no more. Not.
He said like the politicians.
Nah, it ain't like it used to be, man. With the go-go,
Hey man, you seen that joint from out H Street? You see that video from H Street?
Yeah.
All them folks out there, man. Go ain't look the same, bro.
Some of our people ain't happy these days. You know,
Nah, we gonna if I do a go-go band, it's the band that you pick that makes the.
Yeah.
So if
they got a lot of good adult bands now.
yes, indeed. So the grown is sexy or something like that, or good old Chuck Brown. I'm talking about the son and them got a band, but they playing all Chuck music. Man, we can make it happen either way, man. But
we'll talk about it.
it could be a cabaret, it don't matter. But we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Get that done because it'll be a good look for the city.
Yeah, it will.
But ladies and gentlemen, it was an honor and a pleasure to have Brother Brian Crum, Brother JR, Brother Daoud, C's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The Second Wind Sports Media.
Thank you for having me, man. Y'all subscribe to Second Wind.
Yes, indeed.
Subscribe to them. This is not casual, but somebody to actually put these gloves on, not just talking out the side of their head, but talking with these gloves.
Yes, indeed. Boxing experts on here. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Have a good one.
Peace out.
This episode have been brought to you by Raw Vegan Plant-Based Protein Powder, the undisputed champion of plant-based protein powder. I got mine. It's time for you to get yours. Visit rawvegan.com.